infrastructure is crumbling this evening as the Nintenbyte Podcast continues its unprecedented rise. In cities across the globe, fans are rioting. The Pentagon has issued a statement describing the Nintenbyte Podcast network as a pixel-based prophecy. Some say the rise was foretold, others say it's just a really good podcast. We're talking twisted nipples, milk, and a sock puppet who doesn't talk.
It's dangerous to go alone. Watch this.
Welcome to the Nintenbyte Podcast, bitch.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the greatest Nintendo podcast ever! Yeah!
Is that a Joy-Con in your pants, or are you just happy to see us?
Shut up! Now feel the power. Everyone, do you feel that?
Oh my god, I feel it!
I feel it too, Game Bird. What is it?
It's the power of our podcast.
I feel it!
This is rad, Nintenbyte.
So rad.
Power. Now bask in their glory.
I'm Nintendo Prime. Oh, baby.
I'm Thunderstash.
I'm Gamebird Classic.
Nintenbyte rules.
Let's rock.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Nintenbyte Podcast, Season 3, Episode 14. Wow, my button doesn't work. I had a button I was going to hit for the show. Don't. This is what happens when you're getting ready for PAX West. Just break. It's all right. Welcome, everyone. We're going to have a killer show today. A little shorter than usual, maybe about half the time, because I got to pack up my whole damn studio. Leaving tomorrow. Left the studio up so I could do this show. This is why my shit ain't packed. So, how you guys doing? Let's go around the room. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about PAX West, of course. You guys want to know what the fuck we're playing and what we're doing there, right? Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. You want to know. I know. I sometimes look at the calendar and go, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah.
There's so much. It's like, what is it? And then things just get, we're doing like this thing on Saturday night now that that might be my favorite part of the trip, if I'm being honest. No, I love the game demos, but getting a chance to do something fun. You know what? The game demos are fun though too. I don't know. We'll see. But we also talk about some Nintendo Directs because we got rumors out the ass this week. So many rumors. So let's go around the room, introduce everyone. Let's start with our guests, of course, for the first time together on this show. We got Action Jack. Just the evil laugh.
Yes, sir.
You two on the same show, isn't it? Oh shit.
Yes. Glad to be back for a second week. So definitely thank you for having me. I am not cool enough to go to PAX West, but I'm glad to be here before you guys take off.
Hell yeah. The funny thing is, get used to these guests because they're here before we take off and they're here after we get back.
Yep.
They can see the before and the after. So we'll see how it goes.
They might be running the show after. We're gonna be like,
yeah. I mean, Gamebird's gonna be missing next week, which is totally fun.
Yeah.
Life happens. Yeah. There's a potential stash might be missing a bonus podcast next month as well. Well, things happen. But here's the deal.
But the podcast is okay, guys. Don't worry.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to need Action Jack and Stansford to really carry it next week because I still might be recovering from Saturday night. Because I'm probably not going to sleep much the rest of the trip.
Right.
So I'm going to be like, all right, you guys do a podcast sometimes. Here's the topic. We got Sandstorm McDowell here.
Yo, what up? It's your boy. Mr. Sandman.
There it is. I love he's got the PAX West one on the green screen back there. Hell yeah. He's ready. He's ready for the topics today. And then Eric Moore.
Yeah.
Did you just like crack your voice? Did you go back to
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I've heard of second puberty. I didn't think it was real.
Oh.
I hope your balls didn't drop an extra 3 inches. That's all I'm going to say. We got Gamer Classic in the house. The bird.
Bird.
He's just getting seductive
How
over
we
there.
doing?
He's doing good. Oh, dude, is that an old like Panasonic or camera thing?
Yeah, a little Polaroid.
Polaroid.
man.
Polaroid. Yeah.
Very nice.
There
I'm
you
thinking
go.
about bringing a Polaroid and getting some Polaroids to the show. I've been debating
That
it.
would be sweet.
Oh, see, that'd be dope.
Yeah,
Nice.
since we're doing a shorter show tonight, if Target's still open when we're done, because I'm on the West Coast,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna run over and maybe grab some
Hell
film
yeah.
tonight to pack.
There you go. You mean I might get an extra Polaroid for my wall over here? I've got one.
Do you
Good
really?
old Eddie from Genki from PAX East.
Yep.
He took a Polaroid of us two and gave it to me. He signed it. So
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
there we go. Then we got the stash man himself.
Hey, what's up? What a busy week. This has
Yeah,
been
what?
insane.
We're going to talk about the games that are coming out we want to play this week.
I know.
There's so much stuff going on.
Yeah, just working up to the wire, literally. So, yeah, I'm excited to get to it.
Hell yeah. And I'm Nintendo Prime. You guys should probably know by now. This is season 3 at this point. You should know me and Stash pretty well. We've been here for all the episodes. Gamebird's been here for all of season 3 at least. A little bit longer than that. So you should know him by now. Eric Moore's been here mostly from the beginning, but he vanishes once in a while. I haven't missed an episode yet, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Because now that Gamebird's finally missing one first time, Stash is missing one, that means I'm next. And I have been surgery at some point, so I probably literally will be the next person there.
You can't unrun. You
I
can't
can't-
unrun your destiny forever. Nate.
No, I can't. I'm gonna miss one eventually.
What are you talking about? I can hook a webcam up in your hotel or your
I
hospital
swear
room.
to Christ, if you put a camera in my hotel room,
Your hospital room.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's
Yeah.
so crazy. While you're on the operating table, like now let's go to Nintendo Prime for the next topic. It's
live
just
reaction
you
to the
with two
surgery,
in your mouth.
and all of a sudden, you just see the doctor slip and go, "Oh shit!" Big gush of blood straight up, and you're just like, "Oh, cut the camera!" Oh god. Anyways, yeah, that's just new. We have only 2 topics tonight. We're talking about PAX, and we're talking about the Direct, and maybe some bonus rumors that kind of go adjacent to the Direct. Look, who wants to lead topics tonight? We only have 2, and we got 4 of us. So what are we doing? Who wants to do what? Any takers? Anyone like jumping out want to grab one of these by the balls?
Mine didn't drop, so
Well, that's why you're going through second puberty.
I'll take PAX.
Okay.
All
We're
right.
good right into that. Cool. That'll be our first topic. That'd be great. And then
I could take Direct if you want, or I could do Dealer's Choice. I'm down for either Dealer's Choice. I know we might only be doing 2. We're only
we're
doing
doing
2.
the 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're
So I'll take
intentionally
Direct
making
then, I
sure.
guess.
it's yeah.
Then we go 5 hours on the damn Direct topic. So that
Right.
all right, cool.
Fair enough.
Well, you know what? Actually, let's reverse that. Let's go with the Direct topic first. I feel like it's more appropriate to end with the PAX stuff. So Gamebird, what are we talking about, man?
All right, so we're gonna go over Direct and rumors galore. Right now, we have general Nintendo Direct rumors kind of swirling around, and what I love about this most is this is guys, we've been talking about this on the podcast for so many shows now. Despite all the people telling us we're nuts in the comments, we've all been on board with this. But according to Nash Weedle, a general Direct is happening the second week of September. He said on his podcast with Attack the Backlog, it will have release dates for Metroid Prime 4, Age of Imprisonment, Final Fantasy VII, and Elden Ring. He claims they will also announce a new Direct from like a Metroid Prime 4 exclusive Direct with a date for it. According to Switchforce, a general Direct is happening the second week of September on September 12th, which is a Friday, unusual for a Nintendo Direct. Video Games Chronicle has corroborated a little, as they note their own sources have told them that the General Direct is happening in mid-September. Rumors that may or may not be related to the Direct are Nate the Hate has a few out there. First, Kirby Planet Robot HD. More recently, he reaffirmed that Metal Gear Solid Delta is still planned for Switch 2. He also said Assassin's Creed Shadows. Sorry, long week, guys. Assassin's Creed Shadows is still coming. And he also reiterated that Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to Switch 2 later this year. And he stated earlier this month that Starfield is on the way for Switch 2 in 2026. So, do we think this Direct is real? And when around do we think it's going to be? And then what are you guys' predictions for this show? What are your guys' expectations? Is this Direct going to be bigger than usual, given it's the first standalone Direct for a new generation that isn't following just the initial console announcement? We also have the Mario 40th anniversary stuff that a lot of us are expecting to either be there or be in some sort of separate event. According to Attack the Backlog and Nash Weedle, Nintendo will be having a 40th Mario anniversary Direct next month, independent of the big Nintendo September Direct. So, guys, let's go to your thoughts. Let's start with Action Jack. What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe? When do you think it is? Do you think we're getting the Mario stuff inside in a separate Direct? What kind of announcements are you expecting to see there?
So I believe that we will get it that second week of September, kind of what Nash Weedle mentioned. I think we're getting a lot of announcements. If you remember from our last General Direct, there were a lot of third-party and first-party games announced with no dates. There was just a lot of 2025 and maybe like one or two 2026 here and there. So we're still looking at Final Fantasy. Like you said, we're still looking for Metal Gear that hasn't been announced. We saw Indiana Jones at Xbox's Gamescom. I know there's rumors of Starfield. So there's so much that can be coming that we either have heard rumors of or that we know are coming, but just don't have any dates. We're still talking about the Elden Ring situation to where that can still potentially be this year. So for me, I think this Direct is geared towards not only the release dates of games that we're already aware of, but then also kind of giving us announcements for future announcements. So whether we're talking about Metro Prime 4, I think that's going to have a Direct of its own. So that way we can actually see and get the full details of that game. Same thing with Hyrule Warriors. That's going to get its own thing. I feel like we're going to hear something like a little inkling of what's coming for the Mario movie next year. They're not going to show us anything, of course, but it'll just be more of a, hey, check this out at this time frame. So that way you can get more details and information before we kick off this 40th year anniversary for Mario. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Zelda falls into that category as well. So we have so much, and I think this is a good problem to have too much to announce, to have other than having nothing to announce at all. And then also from other rumors we've heard, next year is going to be heavy with the third parties. So I think that's where we kind of get out of the realm of who has dev kits and who doesn't have dev kits, and you know what games are coming and what games are not coming. So I think we're going to get flooded with a bunch of information, but I think is going to be centered more or less around actual release dates, opposed to just announcing anything new per se. And I believe that one thing I want out of this is an actual date on Splatoon Raiders. Splatoon is one of my main IPs that I love. I love Splatoon. So Raiders, I want to see what that's about. You know, even my son, he's like, well, Dad, is this Splatoon 4 or is this like a spinoff? I'm like, it seems like a spinoff. It's a single player situation. I can't wait to see what it's about. You know, because I want to see the creative spin on it. Because with 3, while it was a good game, it still felt a little off for me to where I still enjoyed 2 more than I did 3. So hopefully Raiders kind of gives that break in between the main number series, if you will, before we actually get into 4. So that's the one I want to see. But I think this is just going to be more release dates and kind of giving the announcements for future announcements.
Totally. I agree with you about Splatoon, by the way. I love that that 2-pillar strategy Nintendo's doing with some of their games, which is really cool. Let's go on over to Sandstorm, man. So we got these rumors. Do you think we're getting a direct in September? If so, when do you think we're getting it? What sort of announcements do you think we'll get there? Do you think Mario 40th will be part of that? Do you think that'll be a separate direct? What are your thoughts, man?
So I think that I agree. There's definitely going to be a September direct. Whether I'm actually kind of more split, whether it's going to be the first week or the second week.
Sure.
I do definitely think it's going to be a bigger direct. I think we're going to get a lot of those answers. Also, too, and I want to put this as a side note, but I really want it to be said. I think you're going to see the actual like Elden Ring, like the finished product at that point in time, or the updated product, if you will, because I don't think people realize that like this demo build and like the actual game are two entirely different things. They're not set up the same way. But I know people treat it as such.
And one thing that I haven't seen yet is anyone asked them how old the demo build is.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is like Stash was all over that stuff at the Switch 2 experience. Like, hey, how old are your demo builds and all that?
Yeah.
So that's something that we're going to hopefully, because we're going to PAX, we're going to hopefully get some clarification from somebody there. Hey, you know roughly how old this is? It's like 2 months old, 3 months old. You know?
Yeah. I think that's really important. I really don't think that's what they have going on right now to say. But yeah, I definitely think we're gonna get some release dates for Elden Ring, definitely for Final Fantasy VII. I think we'll also get release dates for a few of those indie titles that we've gotten that don't actually have release dates. They'll of course talk about Silk Song one more time, whether it's in that first week or that second week. That's why I kind of lean towards the first week, is also because of Silk Song, but that's neither here nor there. I think we will get a couple of titles that they'll show off that won't have release dates, but they'll have like a release year, if you would, which will probably be 2026. Something kind of along what Jack was saying. Because next year is going to be like the big third-party rollout. I think that you will get a couple of more third-party titles that'll show up before the end of the year. As much as we think it's tight now, I have the greatest feeling that right after that, we're going to be like, dang, my pocket, it was squinched tight, and they like managed to rinse it one more time to get that extra little dollar out.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they will actually, so in two pieces, I think you will get something Metroid related, and they will say more information about Metroid. Now, I'm not solidified on whether you get a date on that or not, because either A, you're going to get another Metroid, you're going to get a Metroid specific direct where it's going to give you the release date, but you can also get one right here, and then they'll just talk about it more like how they usually do. Also, with Mario, I think I actually think that's going to come in the form of they will give you the smallest little inkling of what the next game looks like, and I'm talking small, like you remember when we saw Odyssey, and then we saw the car come up, and we're like, "What is this? Like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this?" And then like he jumps out, and it's Mario. We ain't getting that. Like instead, you will get something super small, and you'll be like, "This has got to be the new Mario," and then you see Mario in some sort of aspect, like "Hello" or something like that, and you're like, "Oh, it's here!" But that's all you're getting. And then they say,
Mario saying hello.
Yeah, they say more information about Mario. His celebration is coming up. More information about Mario. And a direct coming soon or whatever. And then that's when we actually get more information about both the game and his 40th anniversary. But you ain't get. I'm like wholly confident they're not showing you a whole lot of Mario, except for enough to make you go, and that's it.
That's monstrous. That's monstrous. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
hey, Nintendo is diabolical.
Yeah.
They certainly can be. Eric, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, we have so much crap that we need to know. We gotta have a direct. It's got to be soon. So, I mean, it makes sense the first 2 weeks of September, sometime in that area. You know, it only makes sense.
I don't mean to pause you, but what's so funny is you say we got to have one. There's so much that we don't know, but we've had so many directs of Switch's launch. But you're right. Yeah, it's crazy. They've been like popping these things out like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we need more. We really do need more. But go on.
Well, I have a feeling we're gonna get at least 3 more for sure, with the General Direct, Mario Direct, and then a Metroid. I mean, it only makes sense. I'm guessing, the General Direct here in the first 2 weeks, Mario within the last 2 weeks of September, and then probably the first 2 weeks of October, you're probably looking at Metroid. And with the release date, you never know. Showing up probably in either, I'm guessing, like Sandstorm said, probably if it's going to have its own direct, probably in that. But
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting to see what Nintendo has up its sleeve for announcing all this stuff. So, and the watch, we won't get any of it.
I agree. It's really exciting, and I'll get to my predictions after the rest of the team goes. But I kind of feel like we've this half of the year that Switch 2 launched in was like the appetizer,
Mm-hmm.
But we're still waiting on the main course. But the main course is coming, and it's going to come in hot. Let's go over to Thunderstash.
Okay, let's see. So, first off, we've been predicting all of this for a long time.
No.
We already said all of this.
All of it.
So, and we've been really clear about it that we expect at least 3 directs, right? We got the Indie World, which again, some people classify that as a direct, some don't. I personally do. I think anytime Nintendo directly speaks to us and directly shows games to us is a direct. That's the whole meaning of it, right? It's in the word. So we can count that or we can't. I don't care, because we're still going to get them, right? We're going to get the General. We're going to get the Mario. We're going to get the Metroid. That's 3 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Count Indie World if you want. Make it 4. I don't care. Point is that all of this needs to happen. And this is what we've talked about for a very long time. Yep. Mario's 40th. Got to celebrate it, man. Big deal. It's celebrated every 5 years. Always in September. These are things that we know. Okay. The General Direct, yes, it needs to happen because we need dates on all these games. We also need to see what everyone else is bringing. And we know Microsoft's bringing more than Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other games, right, that I expect. Of course, I have my handy dandy Excel file here with the possible Switch 2 games list. I was just kind of looking through it. Like, okay, there's a lot here still. There's all the Assassin's Creeds. We already know one of the Shadows. We already know Shadows was Peggy rated.
Mm-hmm.
So I would expect that at the big General Direct, right? I look at Diablo. That's one I look real closely at with those mouse Joy-Con controls. Such a great candidate. Yep. Doom: The Dark Ages. Again, we've talked about Doom. I think since, I don't know, maybe around this time last year. Maybe longer than that. That's a game that's fully expected because Doom's been on all the Nintendo consoles since Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the history.
Yeah,
Just the
long
whole history of
history.
it.
There's other games, right, that I look at. Something like Dragon's Dogma 2 would be nice. But I kind of view Dragon's Dogma the same way I view Monster Hunter Wilds. They both use that same engine with Capcom. And both games struggle to maintain a solid 30 FPS on PS5. So it's like, okay, is that realistic?
Right.
Maybe we wait on that for a little bit. Let's see some other third-party games come out, some other ports, see how they do. Again, last week, we discussed Fallout. That's a game I've been talking about for a very long time. And it appears, we're getting a Fallout soon, be it Fallout 4, Fallout 3, or New Vegas. Either way, this makes a ton of sense, right? To get a Fallout game onto a handheld. And with Season 2 coming out, it just makes way too much sense. So they got to get that, I think, on Switch 2 immediately if they want to capitalize. Not only on the Season 2 of the show, but it's the launch year of a new console, of a console that the successor, this might be the most successful console of all time. I think we have to see what happens. Obviously, it just had a price increase. So I still think it can happen at some point when things settle. But this is the first holiday season. So, man, you could really capitalize big time on sales if you can get Fallout on Switch 2. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I expect that release date fully. Elden Ring, I think I would expect a release date as well because, again, 2025 is the date that was flashed on the April Switch 2 Direct. And Sandstorm, as you said, I said it on Twitter. Nate, you've said it on your videos. The game that everyone's playing at Gamescom. Again, I don't know about you guys, right? But we've all been following video games for a very, very long time. Decades. Since the first E3, right? And to me, it seemed like back then, when you got to play video games early, it was understood, right? That these games are not the final product. I would say it's like common sense, right? But again, I've always said, we all do, but common sense isn't so common anymore. But it was common sense back then that these are not finished products. And so when you present on these products, when you make a video, right, when you do content creation around these games, that you should be telling people this is not the final product. Not going on social media saying, man, this game is horrible. Look at the frame rate. It's like, what? Really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird to me because, again, this stuff is like very common sense to me. And I think it is to you guys, but it's really not to everybody. And like, I'm shown that every day. Every day I walk outside, I'm shown that. So I'm excited to see that. And I think it's in better shape, is my point, than what we're seeing right now. Because again, I think this is probably an older demo by default, because that's how demos work. You have to build it out so people can play it. That is not the product that they're working on right now in the studio. I guarantee you it's not even close to that same version. So I think that's something that we still get this year. Obviously, I'm still waiting on my Flight Simulator Pilot Wings collaboration.
Yeesh.
That easy money, man. Both sides win if they do that.
All I'm saying is if they add the 64 music to the game, it's perfect.
Exactly. I know. I love that soundtrack. You know, there was rumors a while back. I'm sure you guys remember of Gotham Knights
Mhm.
coming to Switch 2.
Yep.
But then, I also look at the Lego Batman game coming out, and learning that the combat is essentially the same from the Arkham games in the Lego game.
Yeah.
So do you really want to do that? Do you want to get two Batman games out so close to each other? So maybe they pass on that, or maybe it comes a little bit later as a definitive edition down the line. Hades 2, right, guys? Fully expect that.
Mhm.
Halo Master Chief, we'll see what happens with that. I do think that makes a ton of sense and makes a huge splash. A couple others though, Metal Gear. We'll see, right? It's expected. It's rumored. I've talked about it for a long time. Also, we've seen the performance so far on PS5, on PS5 Pro.
Mhm.
I don't know what's going on, but this is actually reminiscent of Elden Ring releasing, and the PS4 version of Elden Ring, the actual PS4 disc, running better on the what was it, PlayStation 5 than the PlayStation 5 version. Makes zero sense, right?
All right.
But again, that's what happened, and obviously it's in much better shape now. So we'll see what happens with Metal Gear. Metaphor, it might be there. Persona's coming out soon. I think they want to get Persona out the door first on Switch 2, which I think that's October 16th off the top of my head. But you got to tell us what's coming next, right? Get people excited. Metaphor, I think that'd be a good opportunity. Mortal Kombat, that's another one. I do think in this direct we get the Prime news for the direct. I don't know if we get a release date at the general. I would presume they're going to let us know that, hey, next week is the Metroid Prime Direct, and that's where we'll get all of our news in one show. But Ninja Gaiden, Oblivion, I could see Monkey Ball making its way. It always does. Again, when we went over the history of Nintendo launches in the lead up to Switch 2, Monkey Ball,
Yeah.
it's there, and it's a great time. It's a great game. Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah.
We know that's coming.
Yeah.
We know that's coming. Starfield, again, talked about that a lot. Resident Evil. I think we're going to get one of the Resident Evils, preferably one of the remakes. I think RE4 makes a lot of sense given the history with the GameCube. Red Dead 2. I want my Red Dead.
Yes, please.
I really want it, man. Yeah, I want to play that on Switch too. That sounds like a great time. Because that's a game you could just put so many hours into. So those are some of them, right? There's other games. I'm not going to name them all, even though it sounds like I probably did. I didn't. There's plenty more. So that's part of that. Okay, according to Switch Force, General Direct happening the second week, September 12th. Again, I messaged Nate today. Like, hey, man, I got a bachelor party that's been planned. It's Friday the 12th through Sunday. And, I'm on a group text with the other guys, everyone else that's going. And there's been discussion about how early we're going to leave, right? And so I said, well, guys, you guys know I'm up every day between 4 and 5. So I'm down for whatever. I can get up at any time. It doesn't matter. Just let me know. No one else has replied as far as what is early to them. Because I don't know about you guys, but everyone defines early differently. Everyone defines a rush differently. Like when I worked in mortgage, if I ask someone for a rush in Hawaii, that means they'll get it to me in 2 weeks because they're on Hawaii time. If I ask someone for a rush in Arizona or California, they'll get it to me within 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's defined differently all the time. So We'll see about that. But I'm taking it seriously the 12th. Okay. It seems like a lot of people out in social media are just learning maybe who Switch Force is for the first time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was subscribed to his channel when I was still a director in the mortgage industry, and I was like catching videos when I'm working. So he's been on point. I think he just doesn't make it known that he has inside information. Like he doesn't probably want to be known that way, even though it seems like he's leaning into that right now. But a Friday direct sounds like fun, especially if it's a big direct, a big general direct, the one we've been waiting for. That sounds like a good time to have it on Friday, personally. So I buy into that. I saw VGC corroborate it. The general direct is happening mid-September. That's awesome. I do value VGC. So the people who are talking, I value. But again, we've already said all of this for a very long time before anybody else was saying this stuff. So take that as you will. Now, Nate, what he said, Kirby Robobot HD. What, look, that's coming at some point. I feel like we got a lot of Kirby on the platter right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we hang on for a second, right?
Yeah.
But again, he reaffirmed Metal Gear, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Red Dead. These are all things that are coming. Okay, jumping in real quick to the Mario 40th. Once again, yeah, I fully expect it here in September. Look, the movie's coming out in April. Okay. I think if Switch 2 would have been out earlier in the year, like say we go into this calendar year and Switch 2 is already out, I think they would have maybe started this a tad earlier. Even though they do it in September always, I still think we would have got a couple more things leading up into this, which leads into Zelda, which is why with Zelda, I think that starting at the beginning of 2026 makes a lot of sense. Again, the Hyrule Warriors has that 2026 or not 26, but winter release date without a year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you want to kick off the year with that, I think that sounds great. Makes me think again that we got something else coming. If it doesn't come out this year, something secret. So I'm very excited to see what that could possibly be. I have a feeling it's going to be something we've all probably discussed here on the podcast. But as far as Zelda and, the 40th, again, we've talked about this a lot. I think what will happen is that Mario's 40th will carry all the way into the movie and then some.
Mhm.
Zelda will start at the beginning of the year and it'll be, at a slower pace. And then once the Mario movie's out and it starts probably breaking records, then we'll start to put more of an emphasis on Zelda. Again, we've talked about the Ocarina of Time remake first. Even when I was a guest on the Nintendo Prime podcast, I brought up the remake. And I doubled down. I did. I was like, I really believe this is happening. And I said, I have. You guys asked too if I had any reason or sources. I said, no, it's intuition. I know this is happening. I just do. Like you get old enough, you've lived long enough, when things are going to happen. Right? We're all old enough to know that. And so that's something I'm very much 100% looking forward to because obviously that's my favorite game and I'm very excited for that. Yeah, again, Nashville will attack the backlog. They mentioned all of this, which is great. I appreciate everything Attack the Backlog does for the gaming community at Nashville. I appreciate those guys. I do have faith in both of them. I don't think they bullshit. I really don't. I don't think they're into that.
ATB is a good dude.
Yeah.
So
I've never thought that about
vouch
either
for
of them. I really haven't. I think they're good dudes. They love video games and they're excited to talk about them like we are. And they have connections and they're legit. And when and if they're ever wrong on things, it's because situations, things are always fluid. It's always moving. Nothing's ever set in stone. We all know this.
Mhm.
Things change behind the scenes. So it doesn't mean they have a bad source. It means things just change behind the scenes quite literally. And that it is coming still at a later date. So I think that's where I'm at with all of it. I'm ready for it. My body's ready. My mind's ready. I'm hoping I can make this September 12th direct again. I'm hoping everyone else's definition of early is like 9 or 10 a.m., which
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because that's kind of typical,
Yeah.
right? So hoping to be there. If not, if for some reason it's at night, I told you guys I might have to call in during the live stream at the bachelor party. I'm
Wow.
down. Everyone else games too, who's there, so they probably be down too.
You know what's funny is I've been questioning whether or not I should preemptively try and get like half day coverage or something for the 12th. But I was also thinking, since I'm missing a next week's podcast, if I should call in, you know, because my dinner's at I've got to go out of town. It's for a birthday dinner that was planned without me. So like, it was one of those things with you're free the 3rd, right? I'm like, oh, I got the podcast. Like, oh crap, well, we have a reservation and everyone's going, and that's the only day that works for everyone. So, but I probably have like 30 minutes. I'll probably call in and just say hi.
I'm
if
gonna
you guys
say
aren't
on-
too busy and don't mind.
I'm
I'll
gonna say
ask what
on
the topic
record,
is.
whoever did you like that is horrible. That is that is not
Thanks a
nice.
lot, Grandma.
Oh
You know
well, I
what?
thought of you first, but I guess
I gotta add one thing to what I said, just one, and just so it's on the record still, okay? Because I'm not budging. I'm not budging on this. I know it's gonna happen. I know we're gonna get Prime 2 and 3. I know we're going to get Metroid Prime 1 remastered mouse Joy-Con controls. I know
Nice.
this is gonna happen. And I know what was said last week. I still believe it's going to happen.
Mhm.
And I'm excited for the day that it comes. And it might be soon.
Oh yeah,
It makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
yeah.
It really does, man. It's just it's more than logical, I think.
I was totally waiting. Sometimes when Stash gets all intense like that, I expect something crazy at the end, like a brand that says Prime 2 and 3, and just him just going as he's saying, and pulling down the shirt, and it says Prime 2 and 3 coming to Switch 2.
Like who was it? Was it Peter Moore?
Yeah, Peter Moore with the Grand Theft Auto.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Always mix that. It was Peter Moore, and was it Nintendo was Peter Main, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that was the man. Those are the things I miss from E3. Stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, Nate. What are your thoughts on this one? What are we feeling?
So I first off, I don't think Metroid Prime 2 and 3 is coming anytime soon. Maybe 2 for GameCube NSO. I think they're going to be NSO games. And there's like conversations out there that Wii might be the next system that gets added before DS. And so then
It's
that would be
gotta
when the
happen.
Wii comes. Now, I'm not saying they won't update the games for mouse controls. They very clearly could, because they had motion controls. So, they probably can make that transition pretty easy. But I think 2 has a chance to maybe come sooner than later. But 3, I think, is still going to be a while, because I don't think Wii is going to come for another couple of years. They like to space out those platform editions and build out the current platform. Which GameCube, we don't have a lot of games on yet.
Mhm.
Let me just say this. This is what I thought about for Wii.
Mm-hmm.
November 2026. 20 years.
Okay.
Every time we bring up these anniversaries and these dates, we always have, like, it's a big deal, but Nintendo just ignores that it's even a thing. Like almost every time, unless it's Mario and Zelda.
And even then, sometimes they don't care.
Even then, like a 35th anniversary of Zelda, here's Game & Watch. Moving on.
Yeah, we can pretty much count on a Twitter post from like Stealth letting everyone know it's been 20 years.
Stealth will be like, oh yeah, it's been 20 years since this. Yo, cool.
We'll be celebrating it.
Yeah, right. So yeah, look, obviously, I it's funny. Someone on X earlier this week was calling me the direct guy, which I find funny. I make like 30 plus videos a month. Majority of them have nothing to do with Nintendo Directs, but it is a consistent topic of the channel. And the reason it's been a consistent topic is we've had 6 of them this year. I let that say we've had 6 Nintendo Directs. That's a lot. Now, granted, only 2 of them were general directs, one for Switch, one for Switch 2. But we've had like all these game directs, and I think the game directs are going to continue, of course. But the problem is the game directs always focus on that one game at a time, which is great. But there's so many other things we don't know about. And Nintendo does tend to, towards the end of the year, not just want to solidify that holiday slate and get the hype up for the big third-party games and their own games. They also like to get you hyped for next year coming off the holiday season, right? Yeah. And the only Switch 2 exclusive game we know coming that's next year from Nintendo, or at least that's published probably by Nintendo, is the one by From Software in Dustbloods. And maybe Splatoon Raiders, potentially, but they never really gave us a date. I mean, for all we know, that game could be years away. We have no idea how soon or far away Splatoon Raiders is. I believe it's probably going to be an early next year game, but Nintendo gave zero indication. They dropped that announcement out of nowhere and then just shut the hell up. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but okay, Nintendo, thanks for that. That being said, I do think let me go in the order I think the directs are actually happening. I think there's a better than 50% chance we're getting the 40th Mario anniversary direct first, and it's happening next week.
Okay.
Now, the 35th one was the first week of September. They don't always do it like on the actual day or around the like. People are all like, oh, this if the direct's on the 12th and Switch was right, that's clearly got to be a 40th Mario direct. They don't always do the Mario direct around the time that the anniversary is. That's not actually a thing Nintendo does. If you pay attention to when they've done any sort of, and by the way, they've only ever done one Mario anniversary direct that was just about Mario. The rest they kind of sprinkled into other events. But here's the thing. I was looking back on this in a live stream last night, because someone brought up this idea that I can't remember what the idea was, but it made me look at things in real. That 3D Mario could not be announced at a Mario Direct because it's not the right audience, which I thought was hilarious, because that's literally the audience for Mario.
That's the audience.
Right. His thing was he's thinking, well, it needs to be, you need to grow the Mario audience, and I'm like, well, I don't think a Nintendo Direct. You want to grow the Mario audience, you have it at the Game Awards.
It's growing every day.
Yeah, like that's where if you want to reach an audience of Nintendo fans, you do it at the Game Awards. So like, I don't think it being at a general direct is going to do anything better for it than a Mario Direct one. That being said, I do think that the Mario Direct comes first because one, it gets it out of the way. They are already kind of starting things for Mario. They already have like this baby merchandise and all, but they're already kind of slowly ramping things up. They just haven't made the big announcements yet, which. Okay, that's what that direct is for. And I think it's going to be a pretty chunky direct. I think we might actually see the first trailer for the Mario movie. Like, I think that's legitimately a thing that could happen in that direct. I don't know if it's going to be a long trailer. It could be. I have no idea. It could just be a short teaser trailer. Either way, I could see that being a thing. I don't think they're going to do some sort of like cast reveal for the second movie. Like some people think. I'm like, they already had one movie. They don't need to do there's going to be new characters, but they're not going to do a whole cast reveal thing again. Because the main characters, Mario, Donkey Kong, we already know who they are. Mm-hmm. So even though there could be some new main characters, I think those will just be announcements that come in addition to trailers. So I do think that could happen. Obviously, some new Mario Lego sets could get announced. Some new Mario Anniversary Amiibo could get announced. And yeah, some theme park stuff, or like, I don't know if it's not gonna be like a new section of the theme park, but I think some celebrations at the theme park, like parades or some other stuff they might do. And possibly a concert series. They haven't really done that for Mario, but they could decide to do a concert series. It's usually more of a Zelda thing from them. They usually do Zelda concert series, which again could happen next year, 40th anniversary. Mm-hmm. Something that Nash Weedle did say. The one thing that about Nash Weedle is interesting that like he didn't say anything about what is happening for the 40th anniversary, but he basically said there was a bunch of events and it begins in January next year, which I thought was interesting. That it's actually going to be calendar year long. I thought for sure it'd be like mid-year and then you end with the Zelda movie,
Mm-hmm.
He's saying it's there. They're starting in January. So I'm like, well, that makes me hyped. I'm a Zelda guy. So you're gonna start telling me there's Zelda stuff happening beginning in January, even if it's just announcements. I'm game for that. I'm so game for that. But that's too far in the future, and he didn't really have any specific details other than there's going to be a bunch of Zelda events all throughout the year next year, beginning in January. But getting back to the Mario one, I'm of mind that there's only 2 announcements that I'm looking forward to potentially in this direct. Obviously, with the Galaxy 2 remaster, that's been rumored for a little while. Just makes a ton of sense, especially because the Switch 1 audience is still their biggest audience. They're going to want to drop something big for them for the Mario anniversary. I think that's the big thing. And what sucks is I think Nintendo is going to do that stupid FOMO thing again and have it be a temporary release. I hate it. But they did it with 3D All-Stars. I got a feeling they'll do it with us. Even if they re-release 3D All-Stars and put the game, it's going to end up being temporary. I just know it. It's just, it sucks. I hope I'm wrong on that, by the way. I want to be wrong on that. Just like I think they might do Mario 40 instead of Mario 35. But again, it's temporary. But then I will say, if they do a Mario 40, what is kind of cool about it, and this is the one excuse I'll give for like the Mario 40, is now I'm going to expect a Mario 45, a Mario 50. This starts to become like a thing you just look forward to every 5 years as like a special event. That I can get behind. A special event, free-to-play game that gets a small update every time with new stuff. That I like. But I don't like this whole re-release a remaster that everyone wants, and then we create this FOMO like you got to buy it now, and then we get rid of it and yank it. And I realized 3D All-Stars was available for much longer than what they said it was available for. But I think what it was they stopped printing copies when they said that. But what they did is they printed like millions of them and just shoved them out there. So that's why they just stayed on store shelves for so long. Because they did take it off the eShop when they said they was. I just think they just pre-made a bunch of them to keep it available for longer. Right. But so I do think that's an announcement that could come because they need something for Switch 1. And you might go, well, what about Switch 2? What are they going to do for the anniversary on Switch 2? I don't know. There could be some themes, some icons, all that stuff. That'll be for all Switches. Maybe they theme the eShop again like they did last time. That was kind of cool. And now that the eShop actually runs smooth, at least on Switch 2, I can get behind them actually theming it, not slowing it down more. Because while that theming was really cool on Switch 1, it just made the eShop run slower. So I'm actually looking forward to it this time because the eShop might still be an enjoyable experience. But I do think they're going to tease the 3D Mario. And you might go, well, that's going to overshadow a general direct the next week. Is it?
No, not really.
They might not even put a year on that thing. I do think they're going to show like a minute of it. I think it's going to be a really slow first like 15, 20 seconds. And then they're actually going to show you some really cool, and our minds are going to be blown. We're like, holy shit, what is going on? It's going to be more than when they teased Mario Odyssey at the reveal of Switch. But it's not going to be so much that we're like, oh yeah, this thing's coming out like early next year to end the anniversary, coming around the movie. And it might be coming out around the movie. But Nintendo's they just want to let you know it's coming, and they want to show you what we've been cooking. Like, it's been a long time. Like, oh, DK, incredible. Game of the year contender. Don't worry, Mario's back to claim his crown. What's been happening with that? We've seen what's been happening with DK. We made DK.
Yeah.
We've been cooking this Mario game for years. We can't wait to like blow our minds. I think it's going to be one of the first games that upon reveal will actually blow people's minds that are Switch 2 and like excited for, even people that are on the fence on Switch 2. I think it's because when they revealed like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, at the reveal, they weren't really blowing our minds with what they were showing. Now the DK Bonanza Direct, that was incredible.
Yeah.
But that's not how they showed it. They showed it as like, oh, it's this destructible thing. That looks cool, but it looks really repetitive. And then you have people play the demos, and Stash loved it. But a lot of people that played it were like, yeah, it was fun, but I was just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Like, that's the whole game. No, of course it's not the whole. This is Nintendo. Of course that wasn't the whole game. But that's all we knew about it. That's all Nintendo. That the Treehouse did extended segment. Like, that's all they showed was like, oh, you're just breaking things all the time. And that's it. And no, it's a lot more in depth than that. To the point that it's probably going to be nominated for Game of the Year. So I think that they want to remind everyone who's the king. We got the Mario movie coming next year and a 3D Mario, and we want to like give that wow moment, the jaw dropper. that might even lead to sales like spiking in September, even though the game's not coming out for a while. You know how people go like, hey, we know this early gen. This is clearly going to come out on this system. So I that's what I think is going to happen. They might have some other announcement, merch announcement, other stuff. But I think those are like the only real game announcements we're going to hear. Then you get to the big general direct. Look, we've obviously been talking about this for months. We thought maybe one could happen in June. Then we thought maybe that July one would be the general. It turned out it was a partner showcase. This month, we didn't really have a lot of conversation about one happening this month. Just the indie world at the beginning of the month. But that's because Zach from Switchforce, credit to him, kind of set the table that, hey, don't like expect the direct right now. And September was around the corner. We always kind of expect directs in September. But the reason I think this general direct is going to be so massive is it is the first Nintendo Direct, the first general one of the Switch 2 era.
Right.
We have not had a general direct since Switch 2 launched. And I know that seems crazy to think about, but that was in June. We're entering September. And we haven't had one yet. Normally we would have had one in June, but we didn't. So I think that that's exciting because I think there's just a lot of things they've been holding back. A lot of big third-party games that have been held back. A lot of, like I think the reason that like Indiana Jones even got revealed at, as a game like by Nintendo was, hey, because we've heard like Nintendo's been holding back reveals and stuff. Well, maybe they gave Microsoft the okay to reveal Indiana Jones: The Great Circle at opening night live because there's just so much to show in this direct. Like they kind of felt like, hey, why don't you show this somewhere else because you might get overshadowed. Like what if Starfield's getting revealed? Like maybe they think that's going to overshadow, for Microsoft, or maybe Halo Master Chief. Like there might be other Microsoft announcements they feel might overshadow Indiana. So like, hey, why don't you just take this game and announce it at a different event? And there's going to be a bunch of stuff. Like obviously, I think for the most part, everything that Nate the Hate put out there, I think is realistic. And should mostly be expected. Now, Metal Gear Solid Delta is the one that I think people are going to be kind of, really? It doesn't even run well on PlayStation 5 Pro. Yeah. I know. We know. We're aware. For some reason, it runs worse on that than your $750 console. Runs it worse than your $550 console or your $500 all digital one. But obviously that doesn't make sense because it's a more powerful system. That clearly just means there was zero optimization and they just slapped, it's probably, they didn't even work on it at all. So that goes to show you that just because it's the same hardware archetype, it's not the same specs. And so you can't just throw things at it and expect it to just be better.
Right.
It's just not how this stuff works. And that's what was the thing about backwards compatibility with Switch 2. Switch, it wasn't magic. They had to put a compatibility layer, and that's what allowed the games to all run better on Switch 2 was because of the work done on that compatibility layer that's still being done. There's still new games that are just magically starting to work every time Nintendo does a system update. That being said, yeah, the second week of September makes a lot of sense. I don't know about the Friday thing. I think it's weird to be on a Friday. I hypothesize that, look, I don't have a reason to doubt Switchforce at this point. He doesn't put things out there very often. And I look back at his track record, and besides one time when he was wrong, all the other times he said a set of direct was going to happen on X day, it just did. So I don't have like any big reason to really doubt him. And I kept thinking, like, why would they do it on a Friday? I know some people brought up, it's September 11th on a Thursday. Well, dude, they've released games on September 11th. It was 24 years ago. I don't think Nintendo's really thinking about that, and especially Nintendo Japan. I don't think they're really worried about that. And even if they were, you just do it the day before, which is also a typical direct day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, there's no reason to do it on a Friday. You can do it on a Wednesday. Again, you do general directs on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So this isn't, why is it Friday? Has to be a reason it's Friday. And it could be, obviously, about the anniversary for Mario. Maybe they're saving one bonus shadow drop announcement for that Friday for the anniversary. That's possible. It's also possible that there's a major company they're partnered with that only releases games on Friday, and there's a massive third-party shadow drop in this direct. So it has to be on a Friday to fit that company's release schedule. That could be it too. I don't know what game that would be at all, because we're at the beginning of a gen, so it could be anything. But that is something that I found to be interesting. As for like what could be in it, obviously the week of the direct, we'll do our bingo cards and all that stuff. Or at least maybe if it's on Friday, it won't even be announced yet. We'll be doing a bingo card for a hypothetical direct that Friday that we don't even know if it's happening, but whatever. It's all in good fun. If it doesn't happen, then cool. We just save them for when it does happen. But I do think that there's going to be a lot of major big third-party games in this one. I do believe all the reports out there that Nintendo's been very big sticklers with the dev kits. The reports have been too consistent from too many places at this point to deny that Nintendo is even still holding back dev kits. I think I know why. And it sucks for all these companies. Nintendo's trying to control how games roll out in the opening year because they're worried about the Switch 2 getting flooded and then get buried. And then it happened at launch. Think about the report of, one person told me that, our game on Switch 2 sold worse than our worst projected sales. And it's like, well, there's like 21 launch games. They can't all sell. That's too many games at once. They literally can't all sell. Like, people don't have unlimited money. So I don't know who, and that story blew up because they made it, nobody's buying third-party games. Well, it turns out at launch, for the launch month, actually almost 3 million third-party games sold. So, that's a lot of third-party games to sell on a brand new platform in a month. It's just not all of them are going to sell. I'm sure a huge chunk of that was Cyberpunk and maybe Yakuza and something else. But anyways, the point is that, Nintendo wants to maybe spread that stuff out. And what sucks about thinking about that right now is the last couple of months, there's been some pretty, I went over especially in like July and June, there was hardly any new games releasing on Switch 2. It almost was like too spread out. Like, there was at one point where there was like 3 weeks without a new game dropping on Switch 2. And that's wild to me. Not even an indie game, just nothing new dropping on Switch 2. Can't have that. So I think Nintendo is intentionally trying to control that flow, but maybe they went a little too hard at launch. And now at post-launch, maybe because if you give someone a dev kit right now, the game's not coming tomorrow. It's coming next year. Unless it's an indie dev, I guess they could get their games up maybe quicker. But and they have given some indie devs. We know Mina the Hollower coming in October, 120 FPS. You have to have a dev kit to do that. So, Yacht Club Games, obviously they were trusted. Team Cherry next week, they clearly got a dev kit. They're releasing a Switch 2 version. In fact, shout out to Team Cherry. Kind of sucks. I'd like to be asked in an interview why this is, but the physical version's next year. I don't know why it's so split apart from I'd like to know. And it does appear the physical version may be a full game on cart. I'm saying might be because it's not actually officially announced that way. I'm not sure if that box art floating around is official. But there will be a physical version, and they are selling it for $50. So in theory, that price point could include the cartridge. So, but again, this is one of those things that I think a lot of things are being controlled, and I think this is the one where the lid gets blown off, and we're gonna get all those release dates. That's just expected. If they don't put the release dates of the games they announced in the Switch 2 Direct in this one, then what the fuck are we doing? Are they just all the then at this point? So yeah, Metroid Prime 4, Age of Imprisonment, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, and any other ones that they announced that they don't have release dates yet, I think happen here. But I think there's going to be a bunch of major third-party announcements, and I'll save my predictions for closer to when it's coming out. But I do think that what's exciting about this is I don't think this Direct comes and goes without Nintendo making at least 2 major brand new game announcements. And I don't know if any of them are this year. If this would have happened back in June, I would have said, one of them is for this year. But now I'm thinking, okay, they might not be. I think their slate is kind of the way they're filling it out. I think we already know all the games that are coming out from Nintendo this year. I think we already know, besides a Shadow Drop or like a Mario remaster or something. So I think that there's going to be a couple major announcements, and that's going to also get people excited. And then people are going to start looking at 2026 a hell of a lot different. They're going to be like, we got Dust Bloods. Maybe 3D Mario that looked incredible. Now this one other game. And then maybe Animal Crossing or something, because that's also rumored for next year. No, not the beat 'em ups. Lie, rumor thing. Actually, there's Nash Weedle. It's Nash Weedle. That's to clarify. It's his rumor that Animal Crossing is coming next year. So I think that when you combine that all together, this sounds like a massive Nintendo Direct, if any of these rumors are even partially true. So I'm just excited. And is the 12th it? Is that the day? I don't know. I mean, for the sake of having Thunderstash guaranteed at the show, it'd be nice if it was Thursday. But if it's Friday, it's whatever. The show must go on, as they say. So it's going to be It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy, and I'm pumped. And that's about all I have to really say on all this, because my mind is already moving to Zelda's 40th, because now that even got mentioned, I wasn't even thinking about Zelda's 40th. I was like, I'm just trying to get to Mario's 40th. And now I'm like, oh wait, January. So I didn't think we were going to hear anything about Zelda 40th plans till summer next year. So
it makes sense though, because obviously it's going to lead into the Zelda movie that comes out on my birthday, May 7th. So like it just makes sense for the timing.
I have a feeling a conversation may come up in the future about me flying out there to go to the movie with you.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. That'd be really fun. I do want to make one point that
I'm coming to this. You won't go to his birthday without me.
Yeah, that'd be fun, man.
I'm coming
to that
too.
premiere.
That's a drive for me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
just
it's true.
for you. Yeah,
It's probably like 5 hours. I don't know. I've never driven over there, but it's probably
pretty close. So the Friday deal, remember, we had that Nintendo Switch presentation, the big one, January 2017. That was on a Friday. I just double checked that, because I'm like, I remember being so excited. Like, dude, Friday night, the reveals on a Friday night, like, this is awesome. Felt like it was TGIF again. I'm like excited to watch something on TV on a Friday that's not, a Suns game. Like, it's actual TV. Like, this is really exciting. And I just thought that was cool. There's something to be said about a Friday night prime time versus 6 a.m. and waking up super early, very business like.
Yeah.
I
agree. It's a different
there's
vibe.
something, it's like a more party, more celebratory vibe. And if it's as big as we hope it's going to be, Friday makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
be cool.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I mean,
by the way, I forgot to mention this part. Yeah, I do think a Metro Prime 4 Direct is going to be announced and dated. They've done this before in general directs. It's not often, but they do it. And I kind of think Metro Prime 4 is coming out in October with Pokemon. So I kind of feel like they're going to announce it for like the first week of October.
Oof.
Okay. Wow.
Oof.
Cool.
I like that. I'm there for it. Yeah, I mean, I echo a lot of what you guys said. Listen, I'll be honest. I think this is going to be the direct, easily the direct of the year, without a doubt. 100% believe it's going to be the direct of the year. Kind of like how I touched on before when Eric was giving his thoughts. I feel like this year so far, everything we've gotten has been kind of the appetizer. A lot of the big games that we've gotten for Switch 2 started as Switch 1 games. They're not, yes, they're Switch 2 games, but they're not those true from the ground up Switch 2 games. This September is a really crucial time. I think there's a good reason why September Directs usually kick so much ass. One, it helps move units during the holiday, but it also sells holiday units, not just for people who want to play the big holiday title, but for people who are excited for what's coming next year. They want to get the deals, whatever those deals may be. I don't think any of us think Switch 2 is going to be discounted this holiday, but you never know. There might be some cool bundles. We know that the Pokemon bundle's coming out. So what's interesting about this one is, Stash touched on a bunch of great third-party games that we've talked about a bunch on the podcast. But I think what's more interesting is the potential for the big third-party games that we don't know about yet, and ones that are still being worked on. I'm thinking like Capcom, Onimusha, the next Resident Evil game. Capcom's a company that's done fantastic in supporting Nintendo through every piece of hardware throughout history. Capcom's always been there. Are those games coming? Could we potentially see those in September? That's going to be a lot more exciting. As cool as it would be to get, Metal Gear Solid Delta, which Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite MGS game of all time. So obviously I would love to see that on Switch too. But I'm just saying these are like new experiences that aren't even out yet. So is there potential for a few of those to be there? The other one is like on the Nintendo side. Yeah, I expect Splatoon to be there. I expect Hyrule Warriors to be there. But this is the time now where we are going to see something, at least one game that we haven't seen for a while. I think Xenoblade is a very strong contender. I'm not going to go too deep into Nintendo predictions because, again, we might do bingo for the Direct. But what about something like a Star Fox? You know, this is a series that missed the Switch. This is now entered the dormant territory. I guarantee you, we will see one dormant series that's going to have everyone like, oh shit. So I think Star Fox is a good contender for that. And then I would not be surprised to see something Zelda related drop here. And I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so I'm kind of hopping around. The one thing that I'm on the fence on is the Mario anniversary. I think there's a strong likelihood we get a 40th anniversary Direct, but I think it's also possible that they skip the Direct and they utilize the Nintendo Today app and drop like a 15-minute trailer. I'm on the fence. I'm like 60-40 on that right now. Just because while we did have that one big Mario anniversary Direct, it was at a time where we had no regular Directs. You know, we had the shutdowns and all this chaos going on. It was just a very unique year for the industry. Maybe that was a really beneficial Direct for them, and they want to emulate it again this year and every 5-year mark. Or maybe they're like, those were a certain set of circumstances, but we're just going to drop a 15-minute trailer that's got, you know, new Mario merch, new stuff coming to the theme park. It's got a trailer for the movie. It's got that Stash's Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition with added content. It's got that, you know, Mario Galaxy 2 remaster. If we don't get a Direct, I don't think we're getting a mainline Mario tease, but I think there's a strong chance that, like, you know, going all crazy tinfoil hat, I think there's a strong chance that we see a big Zelda announcement and a big Mario announcement in this next mainline Direct. Not just that, a dormant series, not just that, something else big like a Xenoblade. This could be, and I hate to get all fanboy, but you know, this is a really crucial presentation. If this one doesn't end up being a home run, people have already had up and down emotions about Switch 2 this year. This is the time to shine. As far as Metroid Prime, guys, come on. We've heard it for like weeks, for months now on the podcast. I'm 100% convinced we're getting a Prime dedicated Direct. This is a game that needs it. I said Kirby would greatly benefit of it, and Kirby needs it to understand what differentiates this game from Mario Kart World. That was really important. The Direct did just that. Prime's the same thing. This is a niche, like it or not, this is a niche series. This isn't a blockbuster hit for Nintendo. I'd love for it to be, and I know Nintendo would too. It's a critical smash hit, but we need to get people excited. We need to get old fans excited. We're like, is this just Prime 3 again, Prime 2 again? Or is there something like, is the scope different? Is there something that sets this apart? We need a Direct for that. I hope they don't do the Nintendo Today route. I really believe that this game deserves the Direct. And I have to imagine, given the development time of this game, that Nintendo's like, yeah, we need to have a very big push for this thing. We've been working on it for 8 years. We gotta surprise people. We gotta go over why people should be excited for it. And dude, hell, I know we're already getting a Pokemon bundle for October. Does that bundle come out in October when the game launches, or does that come out in November later?
I'm not sure. It's a good question. Let's see.
Because if the bundle comes out when it launches, I'm going to predict, and I know this is a wild one, but screw it. I'm going to say we get a Metroid bundle for the holiday time, in time for at least December.
It's the same day as the game release.
Same day as the game. Perfect. That's October.
Good.
Awesome. End of October. I'm going to predict we get a Prime bundle. And that way people can get Prime for $50. And that's going to sell the game to people who wouldn't go out to the store and buy Metroid Prime because they're getting a $50 title with it. So I'm going to want to fence and say that. I know that's a risky prediction considering we're getting a Pokemon one, but Screw
Now,
it.
are we looking at possible 2 bundles? Because I mean, this is still a Switch 1 game. So do we?
It's a Switch 2 edition. Not
okay.
not a Switch 1 bundle.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because the Switch 1 will be the budget game. That'll be the $60 game.
Okay.
The Switch 2 edition, I imagine. Do we know the price? Is it 70? Is it 20 for the upgrade? Or
Still
sorry,
not
10 for the
available.
upgrade?
Still not
It's not even
available for
available.
pre-order.
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we really don't have a price for it. Like, I know. That's crazy.
Regardless, the bundle's going to be, at least $20 cheaper, I would
Mhm.
imagine. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
Do you guys still think it's a good idea to have Deion Sanders come out and during the Nintendo Direct and tell everyone like it's prime time, baby, and like be the one who announces it?
Absolutely, unequivocally.
Only if Nintendo Prime shows up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
That would make more sense than
Right.
But you have to wear like a Primal Rage shirt to go along with it. And who else could we get? Who else could
Ooh.
we prime for the event?
If Optimus Prime talks,
I hope
Air
Nicolas
Racer-
Optimus
Cage.
Prime. Yeah.
I'd like to see Nicolas Cage as a presenter in a Nintendo Direct. I'd love to see Nicolas Cage walk out with Suda51 and say, "We've got a brand new game exclusive for the Nintendo Switch 2 system, starring Nicolas Cage." I'd be all about that. And Kurt Russell.
Was it a Game Awards that he came out, or was it an E3? I'm getting blurry on that.
I think it was an
For-
E3, but
Was it
but
Dead by Daylight?
yes, it was Dead by Daylight.
Dude,
Yeah,
when Nick Cage came out, I'm like, oh my god,
dude.
this is great.
Oh my gosh, the
It's just
Cage.
it's Nick Cage, man. You know, guy's classic.
I love that guy. He's
Yeah.
one of my spirit animals for sure.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies with him was one of the last ones he was in where he just played himself. It's great. It's great.
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
love
Michaela
that.
and I really like that movie.
Yeah, the unbearable talent, or the unbearable weight of massive talent. Yeah,
Yeah. It was
with
so
all his
good.
hallucinations of his younger self.
Yep.
Yeah.
That movie was
So
great.
good.
Cool. I think we'll move into our next topic because guys, we got an exciting trip that begins tomorrow. Although I guess for the viewers of my channel, what this really means is no live streams, no videos potentially for like 4 or 5 days. So sorry for you guys. They're going to be like the biggest content drought in channel history since I went full time. Potentially, I'm hoping I might have to get something on a Sunday due to a sponsorship, but we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I squeeze a video out. I mean, look, if there's big breaking news, I'm sure I'll do something. But what's going on? What are we doing, Stash? What's happening with PAX?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously there's games there. There's games we're gonna play. We have a calendar that we've been working on for our scheduled
It's color coded
events.
too.
Yeah,
Oh.
we got a nice color coded calendar. I took orange for the Phoenix Suns. Game Bird, you took purple, which is the other Phoenix Suns color. Did you guys take Milwaukee Bucks colors or no?
I took blue because that's my favorite color, but it turns out as of like 1 or 2 seasons ago, that is now the city jersey color for the Milwaukee Bucks.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So that
You guys see
passes
me
on
with the blue hat
technicalities.
during the NBA season. I got the blue one. It just so happens they chose my favorite color. So I don't know.
So let's see. It's 7:30 here in Arizona. I got to be up at 3:45, 4 in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you
Yeah.
got that early flight tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah, flight's at 7:15 a.m. We're ready. Pretty much. I just got to pack the electronics. I was using them up to the last minute, working on my review for Shantae. But I just have to pack a few electronics, but everything else is at the door. It's ready to roll. So I'm ready to go to bed right after the podcast, try to get a little bit of sleep. Now, look, I get there at what, 10:15, Nate? You get there 4, 5?
Like
You and
5:30.
Eric?
somewhere in there.
No, 4:45. I think which is when we
4:45.
land.
Okay. And Game Bird, you said expect around 10, 15,
Yeah, probably like
10:30?
10. Yeah, I'd say between 10, 10:30, the latest. Just depending on how long it takes to get baggage, because I'll be in like I'll be in by 9:30. So
Yeah, makes sense.
uh,
Plans so far. I'm gonna get my badge. Michaela and I are gonna get our badges as soon as we get there. They start giving them out at 12. Gonna try to get early check-in and then go explore, of course. I have the cigars packed. Man, I'm ready. I'm just ready to go. Like totally ready. We talked to Josh, N64 Josh. We're gonna see him.
yeah,
We're gonna meet up Saturday night. The plan is to go out,
yeah.
possibly post up somewhere, or do a little bit of a bar crawl. Probably a mix of both. Should be a lot of fun. That's kind of what we have planned so far, and I don't know what all we can talk about. However,
Any public demos? Those gotta be fun.
We got a
Let's
lot of
talk-
appointments. We're playing a lot of stuff.
yeah,
which is really cool.
we're booked pretty well. I'll talk about, I have a list of games here that are going to be there and booths that I'm interested in and stuff we've talked about. So we can kind of kick it off right with Nintendo as far as there's the public demos and the games that they've announced. Kirby Air Riders.
Sure.
I'm really interested in playing this. I want to see it do well. Anytime a new game comes out, right? It could be Nintendo, it could be Sony. When Astro Bot came out, want to see it do well, right? But you just never know how well it's going to be supported. Just like Astro Bot, I didn't know how well it would be supported on PlayStation because this game is really a great game for Nintendo fans. Like it's a game that they would eat up, right? It would sell very well. But it's a PlayStation game and it's an exclusive. So I look at games like that and I hope Kirby doesn't fall into that category. What do you guys think about Kirby and your excitement around playing that one?
I'm really excited. I loved the original, and it's like Sakurai took the original and finally made it what he always wanted it to be. And it's City Trial. I'm gonna play it. I want to play the shit out of City Trial. Holy crap!
I was happy to hear that they confirmed the 4-player local as well. Yeah, so that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, this one I'm very excited to try. I'm curious to see if we talked about this a little bit last week. This is one that right now I definitely see myself picking up around Christmas time. I don't know that it's a day one, but listen, if I play this game and I have a blast, this could switch to that. This could be like, I got to have this right when it comes out. I definitely see myself getting it regardless. I've got a family, I've got kids. This seems like a fun one to play with the whole gang. So yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping it sells me on it. It's tough because obviously we have Mario Kart World. I'm also really excited for the Sonic Cross Worlds racing game, just because it's bringing over. It's already classic. Like those Sega racing games, they've never been as good as Mario Kart, but the last couple have been pretty fun. This one adds in some characters that I really love. Ichiban from the Yakuza series, from the newer games, as well as characters from Persona, another series that I love. And it has that kind of like exciting arcadey element to it with the water stuff. And so I'm excited to get my hands on that one. It's just tight for kart stuff this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kart
the
stuff and like platformers too.
Yeah. I would say the positive thing about the karts, I mean, all three are different. Mario Kart stepped away and went on its own route with the whole 24 racers, the open world aspect of it. You have Sonic, which is more traditional in a way.
Sure.
Especially when we're talking about time trials. Just doing the typical 3-lap racings. Now, granted, the cross world aspect of it is nothing normal. It's
Yeah,
definitely
it looks
something
so
pretty
cool. Stash
and
played that one too, which is cool.
Yeah.
and that's why I wish I was able to play those open test runs. But then even you look at Kirby, that's more of a road rash racing fighting type ordeal. Even though most seem to gear towards city trials, that's still something that is different from the other two. So we can genuinely say we have 3 racers that differ from one another.
I think Sonic's going to do well. I had a
I
lot of
hope
fun
so.
with it.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
You know, the weather effects in the game were very nice. They basically take the Ratchet and Clank element, the one that came out on PS5, where you can
Yeah, you like portal
go into another
warp,
dimension.
basically. Yeah.
It's basically that, but while you're racing. So you could be somewhere tropical and then suddenly you're somewhere
volcano.
Yeah, and it was cool. Like that to me, that's the hook, and I mean it should be because it's in the title. It's Cross Worlds, right? But it was really fun. I liked that. I like the cart customization. There's actually quite a bit of customization there, and the music was nice. The music was good. I love Sonic music, right?
Dude, so good.
Sonic Adventure, especially. Love that soundtrack.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's so good.
Yeah, there was a lot to like there. I'm excited to play it, the full version, when it comes out. So, everyone, Eric, Kirby Air Riders.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see. I've never actually played the original, so I'm excited to see how this thing handles, works, the whole shebang. Not sure if I'm going to pick it up or not. This demo might, as Gamebird said, this demo might sell it for me. You never know. So yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Hopefully. Did everyone go?
No.
Sandstorm, you didn't, right?
Yeah. So I actually am really, really curious about this demo for many reasons, because mostly solely so because we kind of talked about it last Saturday, is that Sakurai said that there's a lot more to the and I didn't really hear anybody really talking about that piece. And like, I don't feel like it's like a Nintendo with Mario Kart World when they said, "Oh, we got so much more to show," and then we saw it, we were like, "Was that a lot more though?" This is coming from Sakurai himself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that guy, when he says something, like he means it. So so I think we have a lot more to see. Now, will it be in the demo? I don't think so, but I'm very curious still to see how that demo actually plays out with people who don't know how to play the game. Mind you, Sakurai can play Smash with 2 controllers, 1 in each hand, and still effectively play the game.
Ridiculous.
So I want to see what a normal gamer, a regular gamer, if you would, how they would be able to handle this game and what it plays like. It is cool that you guys mentioned like the 3 different styles, right? Mario Kart, Sonic, and then now this. This is, we talked about this too. This is very reminiscent of like Smash, the party game. It's like Mario Party to Mario, where this is the kart version of Smash Bros is to Smash. So there's a bunch of different mini games and a bunch of different games and stuff like that. I'm interested to see how much it really does affect like what character you pick to what kart you pick that you're riding around with, because each of those have different stats and everything, how heavy and how much that's going to make a difference. I know a lot of people talk about how the world, if you would, is small, but I mean, it's an arena, so I think it's a good size. How many people are going to be in that arena? This
game looks like one of those games that you invite either your friends or your family over who don't really play, and you make a lot of noises when you hit them or you smack right into them on random. I solely believe that one of those mini games, whether it's going to be the hitting the dartboard, the target, or one of those are going to be like the golden moment. Especially with getting all your stats and stuff like that together. So yeah, I don't. Do you guys know exactly how long they give you for the demo?
No idea.
Okay, well
yeah, I think it's 45 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect.
Is it?
It's so this is based on how Warp Pipe Pass I've used in the past. That hour like it's like by the hour, there's a line for just that time, so not everyone's actually playing it at
Okay.
right time. So like you're gonna play it within that hour, but it could just be like a 15-minute demo. We don't really know for sure.
I would imagine is similar to what they were doing at where were they playing it? Because they were just showing footage recently.
Canada?
Yeah, in Canada.
Canada Expo.
To where like Andre from Game Explain, they had him go through like the entire tutorial and then also get into a match. And then also do some of the city trial stuff, which I hope you guys have a better experience, because from what it sounds like for him, they only had maybe 4 actual people there that he was matched up with. So 9 times out of 10, when they were doing the city trial stuff, they were in stadiums with the computer, or ended up by themselves. So it wasn't really a fun experience for them.
Yeah, that's lame. The game's all about playing with people, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think it's gonna be really exciting to kind of hear back from you guys how you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it. One thing I will say, I think we are naturally used to holding down a button to go. I'm really curious how much that's gonna mess with the person when you don't have to do that.
That's one thing that's set with me.
The answer is a lot.
Because every time I think about it, I'm like, everything looks amazing, but just that simplistic.
Yeah, people are going to hold down B to go, and it's like, no, that's your boost.
Like, why am I not moving?
Hold it down all the time. It doesn't work that way.
But I was looking at some of the old footage of Air Rider, and I guess there was a mode called Top Rider, where it's more of like a smaller racing area, and it's from the top view. So I'm curious if that comes back.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's a lot they haven't revealed. I'm sure that mode maybe comes back, and maybe a new mode we've never seen before.
Right.
I'm thinking, I wouldn't be surprised to see a story mode. I know that's something we all speculated and talked about for Mario Kart World, but the way they teased that special character at the end that was very cinematic made me feel like, but at the same time, it was also kind of in the style of a Smash Bros character reveal. So maybe it was just cinematic for the sake of that moment in the direct, but we'll have to wait to find out. The real question is, we've gotten Mario Kart World, we're getting Kirby Air Riders, we're getting Sonic Cross Worlds. Are we going to see the return of Diddy Kong Racing in the September direct, gentlemen?
Yo, stop it! Don't play with me.
I want to, but I just don't see it in the car.
All signs pointing towards Diddy Kong Racing?
If we're talking about signs,
next
we have,
year,
like you said, the 3 racers, and then not to mention in Bonanza, you have him and Dixie racing. Like, that's
clues are right in front of us the whole time.
it's right there.
Right to be shocked when it happens.
Even to the point of being like the sequel that was supposed to come out that they had, where they were racing on animals opposed to the carts. So maybe that comes to fruition.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not until this man gets some screen time, some real screen time, and not just the glimpse. He's not getting any FaceTime because so I was thinking about this the other day, like, man, why haven't we gotten it at least on the 64, right? But I'm starting to realize that I think our just like how X-Men was, I think our generation has passed. So like while people know like Diddy Kong, I feel like most of the like younger generation only knows him from Smash Brothers. Like really actually knowing Diddy Kong to that level, I don't think it's like that. So even within the Donkey Kong games, like who for a younger generation, like who is he really? You know what I mean? So I think just like DK, he'll get some sort of, you know, I don't want to say rebranding, but a new look and a new style to him. He may not be as cool with that, you know, the front cap anymore. You know, he may change, but I don't think we get a Diddy Kong Racing until he shows the new version of himself, if he would.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. I think he's the more popular one, at least like you said, in our generation coming up. You know, he was in the first game, and then the next game, it belongs to him. Like to go and save Donkey Kong. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that will be a great game for a racer. I mean, even having his own platformer, if you want him to hold down the 2D aspect of things. Yeah, I would love it, but unfortunately, I don't know. I feel like if Crash can make a comeback with the racer, so can Diddy. So why not? If we're getting Garfield, might as well.
I've got the pitch. The pitch is simple. They've already made a super strong DK with Bonanza.
Mm-hmm.
The next mainline Donkey Kong game is a God of War like, and Diddy's on your shoulder. And think about how you can issue commands to your son. Kratos can issue commands to his son with the bows and stuff. That's what you'll be doing with Diddy. You'll be the juggernaut berserker and issuing commands to Diddy to assist
Diddy.
and it's going to be deeply narrative driven.
Anyway, sorry. I'm literally not going to comment on this because it has nothing to do with PAX. I just want it to happen.
They're going to do the question everyone's been asking: a gorilla versus 100 humans. They're going to do that. Nintendo will answer that question for us.
No, you know the demo that we're going to play that I'm actually most curious about from Nintendo, besides the third party stuff, is Legend ZA, because I am not. A lot of people said when they played that demo that they weren't sold, and they were sold after they played it.
Really?
Yeah. I saw a video saying the bad textures didn't even matter after they played it.
They never do.
Well, they can if you don't. Here's the thing: for people not to care about the visuals, the gameplay just has to be that incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pokemon hasn't necessarily always had the most outstanding gameplay. Sorry, Pokemon fans. But I was basically completely out on this game until that Pokemon Presents showed, or was it Pokemon Presents? Whatever, that trailer that dropped with 4 players fighting against each other online. Live action battle. I'm like, okay, now you have my attention.
Yeah.
That has my attention because Pokemon's never done that. I know everyone thinks they're stealing it from Pal World. Go watch. Go play Pal World or go watch Pal World and then watch this. This is not the same sort of live action This is not. No, come on.
Yeah.
Literally, Pal World's live action comments like playing an action adventure game. That is not what this looks like. Okay, they didn't copy each other, but I understand why people think that because now Pokemon goes live action after Pal World. Yeah, but they're not doing it the way Pal World is. So probably so they can copyright claim it and make sure no one else can do it.
Copy this.
Pokemon Company trademark everything. Even after the lawsuit, because I've been creating a new one, so I can sue them for. What are you doing? Yes, they'll have the until was it after Pal World came out is when they copyrighted the ball throwing mechanic. I'm like, you can't. That doesn't make sense legally. You can't like go after a company retroactively. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I don't think
they got the money to do it.
I don't think that lawsuit's going well for Pokemon Company, but that all said, that's the game I'm actually most curious about because I'm not sold on it at all. I have a little bit of interest now because that 4-player stuff looked cool, but for me, the problem is, as cool as the battles are, or at least they seem to be, that was the thing I always thought was most exciting when they showed the live action battle stuff. it was like, yeah, but I'm not doing that a majority of the time I play Pokemon. Most of the time. Like I'm not, I'm catching Pokemon or I'm, talking to NPCs and questing. And it's like that part aspect that they showed to date hasn't really excited me. So the question is like, are the battles so engrossing that I just don't give a shit about it anymore? And that's what I want to find out by going hands-on, because for everyone that calls me a Nintendo shill, I ain't a Pokemon shill. Pokemon could stop existing and I would be just fine.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Nintendo wouldn't be fine. The huge seller for them. But I'm just saying that like I'm not that big into Pokemon. Even though I was when I was a kid. I loved it. And I've always said the reason I think I fell out of love with it, there's multiple reasons about how I don't think the series grew up with its audience and all this stuff. But Pokemon's the baby's first RPG. That's what it is. It's meant to be one of the very first RPG games you play as a kid. It's not difficult. I get it. You can play the pro level. Yeah, of course. You can make anything as difficult as you want. And you can go do all that stuff. That's not why I played.
Right.
So I played to catch them all and to beat the Elite Four. That's why I played.
Yep.
And I didn't find it to be that difficult. So I think that's a great, even to this day, I introduced my kids to RPGs with Pokemon because I think it's a great first start. But this is like this kind of just like Pokemon Legends Arceus. That felt like they finally evolved the series in a direction to make capturing Pokemon fun again.
Yeah.
Now it feels like, now we're evolving the way you battle. You're actually evolving. I know Pokemon evolution. Oh my gosh. To actually make it look like it's growing up with its audience and it's ready for that next step. And I truly think it's the third Legends game that's going to bring them together. That's going to end up being the one that's like the perfect one. But I love Legends Arceus is literally my favorite Pokemon game of all time. And it feels weird saying that because I was a Gen 1er for so long. But I made up my mind after beating. I'm like, no, start to finish, the story, the way you build out the town, the capturing, even the battles they do have, which are very traditional. I don't really care because I wasn't playing the game for the battles, so it didn't matter to me. I could ignore that. So yeah, I loved that game, which is weird to think. I loved my favorite Pokemon game ever is the one that de-emphasizes battling. Like that's so weird. That's such a core part of Pokemon. The game that like de-emphasizes it and it's like the least important thing. That's the one I love. Turns out maybe battling isn't what I love about Pokemon. And then they drop on me with ZA where they make battling. So I'm very curious to play this demo. I am not sold on this game. I do not have it pre-ordered. Obviously, I'll get the Switch 2 version if I do get it because that's what I have a Switch 2. Why wouldn't I get the probably better looking, better playing version?
Right.
But I got to play it. And that's one of the things I'm actually excited to try out because it is something I would like to be sold on, but I'm just not. Kirby Air Riders, I'm just going to have fun. I'm already sold. So that's my thoughts on that one. Look, we're playing a lot of stuff. Like the third-party games there I'm really excited about. Like Elden Ring, I've seen all the footage. I've seen all the discourse online. We've talked about it a little bit. The thing is, nothing changed. Nothing... To have a well-rounded conversation about it, you have to have played it.
Right.
Totally.
So even if you're of the mind like, don't buy it. Well, fine. Hey, guess what? We didn't spend any money on this. We're just playing it. We're playing a demo. And I'm curious, like, we talked about this a little earlier in the show. Like, how old is this demo? The Cyberpunk played much better at launch than it did at the experience. Even like, I still see people quoting like the Digital Foundry preview footage video stuff. And I'm like, okay, the game's out already, right? Digital Foundry has an updated right? They've updated their take on this because it was much better at launch. I don't know how we're ignoring that. It's wild to me. But yeah, I think that Elden Ring one is the one that I'm most curious about third-party wise of the big AAAs that we are going to play at the Nintendo booth because that one to me is the one that I think has the most discourse, but also the most potential to sell very well on Switch 2 if they get it right.
Right.
And that's the thing. From Software has a history. All of us know this if we've played From Software games where they don't always perform like run the best at launch. Stash went on it extensively on X to point out like he had the PS5 version at launch. It didn't run well.
Yeah.
They patched it.
I agree.
And it runs fine now, but it was like That wasn't the case at launch, and people forget about that sometimes. That's one that I'm really excited that we're touching on.
I'm really curious about this one because, like, I agree with Stash. I had Elden Ring at launch on the PS5. You know, there was some jank with the frame rate for sure, some performance issues, but I never found it unplayable.
Right.
And it got better, you know, as time went on and they patched and updated. I'm really curious how this one plays because, you know, there a lot of impressions saying it's like a nightmare. You know, it runs like garbage.
Yeah.
On Switch 2. I'm curious, does it actually run like garbage, or does it run kind of like how the game originally ran?
Yeah.
Which wasn't ideal, you know, performance issues.
And
I'm curious how game breaking the issues are.
In all honesty, I feel like, and I think maybe Prime, you said it. I feel like that was you who said it, but it's exactly like Cyberpunk. You know, when Cyberpunk first came out, like it definitely did not run the best. You know, and over the years, like now, it's like a critically acclaimed game, and I've played it day 1 to now, and it is astronomically a different game. So it's one of those things where. Yeah, some people, they try and be perfectionists when they drop a game. Others, they may drop a game and just work on it as it goes and listen to the people. And this is wrong. We'll work on it in the next patch or the next coming patch. So it definitely could, like, so originally, yes, we need to know when that demo was originally made, but also as well, if that is a thing where, this demo was somewhat relatively recent, right? Then the next thing is, okay, so we're looking at it coming out now. How often are they patching this game? How often are they working on this game? Because knowing from software, I feel like they are one of the last people who are like one and dones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like drop the game and are like, yep, so we did it and we're good.
Right.
I really think they like perfecting their craft as they move on.
Yeah, I agree 100% because I mean, even to your point, Prime, with Pokemon, you know, these games are the same way to where people love them so much, the gameplay, the mechanics of it, that even if it drops frames or even if it is a mess in the beginning, they'll play through it. As you said, Sandstorm, like with Cyberpunk, I know people that they completed Cyberpunk 100%. And we know how bad that game was at launch. Like, but they loved the game and they even recommended the game. And it was like, oh, you know, yeah, there's some jank, but you'll be okay. And yeah, you were one of them. So it's all about how good the game is. And from the little footage that we've seen, and of course, you guys will be able to tell us a little bit more when you come back. It looks like it is playable. And I think I said this on your show, Sandstorm, to where the vocabulary within the gaming space is very small. It's either it's the greatest thing or it's trash. It's horrible.
Absolutely.
Like there is no in between. It's like okay, yes, is it not running the best? For sure, but they can work on it. But I'm not gonna say that it's just unplayable. I don't know why they released this. I don't know why they brought this here. It's uncontrollable. I'm pretty sure from what we saw that wasn't the case. But of course, you guys will give us more detail.
Yeah.
I'm glad you.
I just go less than ideal.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Action Jack, because even when like a game gets like a 7 out of 10, people oftentimes are like, this game's shit. Like,
yep.
Not getting that game is shit. Dude, do you know how many games that have been ranked 7 out of 10 that I love? Dude, I had there was a RPG on the PS1 called Legend of Dragoon. Do you guys remember that?
Legend of Dragoon!
Love that game. You know that game, IGN gave that game a 5?
I remember.
It's IGN. Yeah,
that's a 5, dude. I love that game. I was young, but my point is, like, there are plenty of games that have landed on the 7 that for me are like in, you know, at least an 8 or an 8.5, maybe even a 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. People don't really have any of that like gray in between. Everything's so black and white. It's either great or it's dog shit.
Yep.
I think the interesting question here is if it is running and performing really bad, and this is a more recent build, does this game get pushed to 2026 or do they commit to the 2025? Because we don't have a release date. And I'm curious with all the negative messaging, if this is a fairly current build of the game, if FromSoft is like, maybe we let this one, we didn't say winter. We just gave a 2025. Maybe we push this one to like March or something, or April.
Based on how they've always done it in the past, they just won't care. They'll just drop it.
Sure.
From Software has never cared if their games run well at launch. Just like it'd be different if they never told any other game because of performance, but they never have before. So why would they suddenly do it now? What's interesting too is like there's another game at Nintendo's booth that has also had some weird stories where sometimes it looks like it's running well and sometimes it looks like it's running like crap. That's Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
They're demoing that at PAX West, and I want to go hands on with that because I'm very curious. Like, and I've seen the footage. I've seen the people where, oh yeah, that's got some pretty significant drops. It looks like it's really hard to aim. And then I've seen the footage where actually it looks like at least a stable 30 right there. So
right.
I'm very curious to go hands on and give that a try. And obviously, again, get that answer. That one has a release date. We know when that's coming, right? So it's like, okay, so how old is this build we're playing? Like, is this indicative of what's gone gold and is being put on a game key card to come out in a month or two or a month and a half or whatever? Like, so I'm very curious on that one as well, just because it seems like there's no consensus, and the footage that we're getting from it has been, another word, less than ideal. Just go back to the less than ideal statement. I don't think it's been covered very well. I'm actually just disappointed in general in how all these demos have been covered by pretty much all the outlets.
Yeah.
I don't want to name any outlets in particular that have done bad because I don't think they mean to do bad. I think what happened is E3 left and then we had COVID and all these outlets just forgot the kind of coverage gamers actually want.
There you go.
When you get a chance to play early, and it's like, well, it's a public demo and everyone can play. Yeah, that was the case the last few years at E3, but there was something different about people who know what they're doing versus people who don't know what they're doing. And I'm not just talking about like new people to the game. You can have someone new play the game and still show it and talk about it from that experience as a new player playing this game for the first time. Like, there's value in those opinions, but they just. It's just been really, like, the footage has even been bad. I was watching one major outlet's footage on Borderlands, and while everyone's focused on how bad the game was running, I'm looking around the game at the people. Dude, everything's like, there's like artifacting happening on the person's shoulder. What kind of footage is this at a professional outlet? How is this a representative of the game when the person in the shot isn't even looking good? Is he a video game character? What are we doing? Like, this is so bad. And honestly, this is where I got to give Thunderstash a lot of credit. He went to the Switch 2 experience. The reason I think all of his videos did so well is he legitimately outdid every major outlet with his coverage of the Switch 2
all
experience.
of them.
Yep.
Outdid all of them. The quality of the
his
footage,
kicked ass.
how he explained how the games worked, and he wasn't telling you, buy this, you'll love it. However, this is how the game is. I'm telling you what it is right now, and I'm showing it in the best light I can. And yeah, I'm excited for it, or I'm tepid for it. But either way, this is really cool. I want to show this game in the best way that I can. And I think outlets forget that gamers, they're going to make up their own minds, right? It's their money. They're going to spend it how they want. What they want is as much information as possible to make a purchasing decision. They're not there just for your personal stance on, well, yeah, this game ran like shit, and that's it. That's the article. It's like, okay, get into the detail. What about it felt bad? Were you having like a really hard time aiming your gun in mouse mode? Or did it feel better? Maybe that's the difference. Is mouse mode causing the problem? And it's actually better if you use it like, why is Borderlands looking in two different videos running completely different in the same area with the same enemies? There's obviously something going on. How is this not being figured out? How are you not testing out multiple modes? If you're in mouse mode, what happens? I haven't heard anyone talk about mouse mode in the game, which it does say it supports, and if it works as seamless as it does with Metroid Prime 4, because no one tested it.
No.
No one bothered to grab the mouse and put it back on and see if it just smoothly go. Like, why would we not? These are the details gamers want. We want information.
Right.
Here's the thing. For starters, thank you, big outlets. Keep doing that bullshit. Thunderstash is going to be a million.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
He's going to be a million subscriber YouTuber over the next year just from covering gameplay demos. Like,
yeah, that is very true.
And I'm so frustrated by it. I'm going to be making some videos on some of these demos and showing footage and giving some of my thoughts as well, because bottom line, I'm so disappointed in what they're doing. Shit. I did this shit back in 2019. I'll do it again.
This is why I started reviewing games. It's literally out of disappointment for how it's being done today. Same thing with this though. It should be a lot better. It should be like this is Michaela's first time recording. It was our first time going to an event and recording, and to hear the things I heard that were all very nice, and I appreciate it. But at the same time, I'm also like, you guys are Access Media. You guys were here a day before me. You had the place to yourselves. You probably didn't have the neon pink and red lights on the screen either. Like you probably have company cameras. You know, we're shooting from a iPhone 16 Pro Max with HDR, and I'm using a what do you call it? Not SD Express, but the mini SSD I had hooked up. So I'm doing the best I can with what I have, but it is interesting that they don't live up to what we expect. I'm perplexed about it, basically, especially when you're getting a salary for this, guys. Like, this is your job.
Yeah.
I'll give you another example. Right? We had the Crimson Desert listed as on by GameStop at one point for Switch 2. Could have been a mistake. Might mean nothing. Okay, so when you're playing the demo of Crimson Desert at GameStop, did none of the media think to ask some people there, hey, are you guys working on something for Nintendo with this game? And even if the response is nothing, at least put out there you asked the question and got some sort of response, even if the response is we can't talk about that right now, or we're not making any commitments at the moment. Or maybe they go, oh, we're working on it. Oh, shit, that's breaking news.
Right.
But like, I literally was watching some of the coverage of this because Crimson Desert's at PAX West. It was at PAX East as well. At PAX East, we didn't have the leak yet that it was coming to Switch. We just played it for the heck of it because it was a really big booth and we had pretty much done everything else. Yeah, and it looked cool. So we're like, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
And we'll probably get an opportunity here to play it at PAX West again. Maybe, hopefully, a new demo. That'd be sick if it's a new demo. And I'm like, man, this could be a Switch 2 game. And no one's talking about it in the Nintendo space at all. And the media outlets didn't seem to ask them. Like, if you guys don't know, when you go to these booths, and unfortunately, PAX East was kind of a dud for Switch 2 stuff, but the system didn't even have the Direct yet. So, but while that was kind of a dud for Switch 2, I remember the E3s. I remember other events I've been to. You can ask questions of these reps. Some of them actually work at the company. Not all of them are hired just for that event. And if you get the right rep, you will learn things.
Yeah.
I know this. Skyward Sword's entire baseline of what the story was, like not spoiling everything, but just like the basis of the story, we found that out at E3. Why? Because we were demoing the game at Zelda Informer, and we just asked the person at the demo booth, and they just told us.
Yeah.
They weren't going to give the exact detail, but they just told us the general outline, and that was exactly what the story was. And they just said it. They didn't even say, like, oh, you can't share this, but here, let me tell you. No, they just said it. Like, and so it's almost like they forgot how to be journalists. And that's what's to our benefit. Thunderstash, especially because he does a lot of preview content and review content, but even for channels like me that does news, a lot of the stuff in like when you're previewing a game and you're talking, it can be news. And I'm sorry if I have to create the news.
Yeah.
Because this is embarrassing. So that's what I'm most looking forward to the PAX West is like nobody's doing it right. The best videos on the internet are coming from people with a cell phone that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm bringing my professional camera. I'm going to be getting the best footage that these outlets should have been doing and they're not doing. yeah, we'll also have phone footage as well. You know, we're all going to as a group. We're all going to share our footage, and if Stash wants some of my 4K stuff that because it looks better than it, cool, take it, use it. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. We're trying to show the games, and maybe I experienced something in the game or something that he glanced over and he said, "Oh, dude, how did you do that? Where did you get there?" You know, well, hey, we might experience different things in the demo. So, and asking the questions, like Stash was asking all these questions at the Switch 2 experience. Now we're all together. We're going to be asking all the questions all the time, and what you know. So, and yeah, we have some behind the scenes stuff as well that we can't talk about. Of course, that happens at these events. We were very fortunate to have a few things that, you know, I'm not sure how much we can talk about till we're there. You know, they'll let us know.
Well, we're technically not under NDA right now.
Typically, I don't know anything.
Well, right.
Like, I'm looking at the private meetings I'm going to, and I'm like, well, I know what they're for, but I don't actually know what's happening in those meetings. So,
right, I'm joking, obviously, but
so I'm like, whatever. You know, just like God, what games were Bandai Namco bringing again? I know those are public.
Yeah, so Pac-Man World,
Switch
Reback 2, Little Nightmares 3,
Switch 2,
Digimon Story, Time Stranger, and I think it was something else, but yeah,
they have games that there. Those, you know, at least 2 of those games. I'll look up the Digimon one, but I know 2 of those are for sure coming to Switch 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, why are we not talking about these games and how they were? Yeah, they probably don't have Switch 2 demos, or maybe they do. I don't know. Like when you get into the booth, can you ask, hey, do you have a Switch 2 demo? That's the one I want to play. I don't know. It'd be good to know and ask questions about, even questions like, hey, do you know what inspired them to do the repack game? Like, what inspired you guys? Like, why was this the time to bring this game out? You know, ask the questions. Well, the worst that happens is you get no answer because it's just a booth that doesn't know anything. But or they might go, actually, I don't know. Let me go grab someone. That's when it gets exciting because they're usually grabbing someone who works for the company, and you're like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. That's
I want to make a quick correction. I misspoke earlier. It wasn't IGN who gave Legend of Dragoon a 5, so I don't want to throw Miss Shade. GameSpot gave it a 6.4.
I was gonna say, was it GameSpot?
GameSpot gave it a 6.4. Game Critic gave it a 5. And then there was another site that gave it like a 42 out of 100.
It's because they couldn't time the tax right. That's why.
Probably couldn't. Yeah.
And thanks to Any Games Necessary, that's an actual IRL friend of mine who corrected me. We used to be roommates and went to school together. But and he mentioned in here another RPG that him and I both love from the PS2 that IGN gave a 5.5, and this is a masterpiece. But Shadow Hearts, if anyone's familiar with that series, it was rad, super steampunk and just awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, but Prom, to your point, I think a lot of these outlets that get these opportunities and the fan base gets them to that point to where they can go to these events and actually sit down with these developers. They don't think of themselves as journalists. And I think that's kind of like a discredit to their fan base in a way, because you want to talk about games. And I think all of us just genuinely love talking about games and playing games. But sometimes you get to a point to where you're fortunate enough to get to those positions and have those conversations and ask those questions. So right now, it sounds like you all are prepared. Like, hey, we're going with cameras. We're probably going with questions. We know what games we're going to try to shoot for. If there's some randoms there, if we can find time, fantastic. And we want to ensure that we come back to give a little bit more detail, not just because, you know, the other outlets are not doing it right, but we just genuinely want to take care of our fan base. Right.
Yeah. That's all about. Exactly.
And I think that's where I've noticed a lot of outlets, they're still fans of gaming, but they still haven't clicked that, hey, we're a little bit bigger on the platform now. And I don't want to say, but let's make sure that we share with other people that share the same interest and love our content to give them a little bit more information.
Yeah.
Sadly, I think it comes down, a lot of it. This goes for a lot of things in life, but I think it comes down to a mentality of something you have to do versus something you get to do.
Correct. Yeah. There you go.
You know, like for me, this is something I get to do. I'm like very excited. We all are. And I think let's just say for some of the outlets, okay, it's something that you have to do. Sometimes they might forget that, dude, this is a dream. This is a dream job.
Yeah.
You know,
they're not thinking about their audience and what their audience might want to hear.
Yeah.
They're not, they're so used to getting like these insider scoops that they devalue legit questions at these events. Like, oh, I don't have an interview, so I'm not going to ask questions when I'm playing a private demo. What are you doing? You have a private demo access. Chances are, if it's private demo access, it's a real employee at the company. What do you mean you're not asking questions?
Yeah.
This is a unique opportunity that you're taking for granted because you have inside sources that tell you things at times. But it's like your fans that clicked on this article, they want to know some new detail. Let's just put it this way, guys. There's probably stuff you're going to hear about these games that have been demoed all month long for the first time on our podcast next week.
Yeah.
And that's wild to think about. These games have been demoed for, a week and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow our show will probably have something new about one of these games that nobody is talking about because they didn't ask the right questions or they didn't get good enough footage to get clarification on things. Like I've seen people trying to compare like screenshots with like Final Fantasy VII and like the Steam Deck thing. And I'm like, none of the footage is good enough for you to do that. So why are you even making those comparisons?
Exactly.
I think a lot of people take the easy route out too. And when you guys do the work, they'll just try to clip and say, oh, well, Prime and Sash and Gamebird and Eric, they went to these events and they showcased this and this is the footage. It's okay. So they just piggyback.
That's why
I gotta pause for that. This is getting a smidge ridiculous. T is at it again.
Jeez,
dude.
Yeah, 100.
Just dropping
legend.
Dropping hundos. T is going nuts over it. Dude, he did this a while. Was it like $1,000+ the one night? It was crazy.
Yes.
T is like a super fan of Thunder
Man.
Smash. Oh, is it? Start with the letter T.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta make sure I shout him out. I really appreciate seeing huge support for one of the co-hosts here. So awesome.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, after you guys come from PAX, I got super sources at that point. So
yeah,
if you want to know my sources on how the game Elden Ring plays, I know a couple people who were deep in the game. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you who my sources are, but I just tell you I got some sources.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, we're all liars, so there's that. And we're paid.
I'm such a big Nintendo shield. Can you believe anything out of my mouth?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Negative. Oh no, he's just saying that to seem like he's based.
Whenever anyone says like something about being paid by Nintendo, as if it's like a bad thing,
Right.
Right.
I'm just like, I wish.
Right.
That's a dream job. There's two dream jobs I always had. It was working for the Phoenix Suns or Nintendo. So like if that ever happened, dream come true.
You want to buy ad space on my videos, Nintendo? It's wide open. Whatever you want to pay me to advertise, dude, I'll give you a discount if you want.
I don't get paid by anyone, but I'll say anything for clicks.
Right.
Oh God.
So look to his channel for the video on Elden Ring saying this is a 60 FPS masterpiece.
There you go.
60. The Elden Ring demo I played was 120.
It was actually 120.
Native.
Handheld.
I should make that video.
Where's the footage to prove it? Well, it was a private demo. They wouldn't let me record it.
There you go.
That's what my source said, though.
I wonder what happens if I make that video. Maybe I should try it.
Somebody will jump on it.
No,
I'm
my
excited
God,
for Final Fantasy VII, right? And
Yeah.
for Elden Ring, because like both of these games I've spent over 200 hours a piece in each. It's very familiar with it. So I'm excited to see those games both in docked and handheld. Hades 2, again, super excited for that. I love Hades. Absolutely love it. Got to play the Switch 2 experience. Excited to play it again.
Cool.
One game I will mention that I backed it on Kickstarter. And it's Alterium Shift. It's an RPG.
Yep.
Looks awesome.
And yeah, I was surprised to see them on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, interesting, right? I did not expect that. So I'm excited to actually go talk to him and be like, hey, introduce myself and be like, I'm actually one of your first backers too. So that'll be cool. One company, Arc System Works,
Mhm.
they haven't listed what games are going to be there, but like my fingers are crossed for possibly Double Dragon Revive. That's coming
that'd
out
be
in
pretty
October.
cool. Yeah.
You know, like you want to promote your games that are coming out. I grew up on Double Dragon. Love it. And this is definitely different than the last one that just came out, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This is more your modern looking game. Crimson Desert, like you said, yeah, very excited for that. Look, when it was first announced, I was excited for this game. And this was a long time ago. I was looking it up.
Yeah.
It was like 2018.
Yeah, it's been in development a long time.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're going to close the book on 3 games: Silk Song, Crimson Desert, Metroid Prime. 3 games that have been, in development for a very long time. We're going to finally close those chapters out. So I'm pretty excited about that and to play Crimson Desert.
The irony in those games you brought up, probably the most popular line at the whole show is the one game I don't really care if I play it or not, and that's Silk Song.
Well, especially with the release date now.
Comes out next week.
I'm
so
good.
Yeah, I could rush a preview video out, sure. But it's also the same demo I played at E3. Same content. Sure, it runs better, looks prettier, has new animations. And look, if I get in with like the line super short, sure, I'll play it if I can like only have to wait like 20 minutes. But I've heard at all the places that had a demo for the game that the lines were like hours. I'm like, I'm not waiting hours to play something I've already played that comes out next week. Like, we think it's a new demo with new content, because I will rush out a preview for that. But it's not, and I can respect it because it's from the beginning of the game, and they don't want to spoil a bunch of the game. So I'm cool with it. And look, let's just be honest. Does anyone really need preview content for Silk Song to decide if they're buying it or not?
Not really.
Absolutely
I don't think
not.
so.
Yeah.
And like reviews are going to be dropping a few days after we get back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The day we get back.
Or the day we get back.
Yeah, it could be because outlets, again.
Wait, no, sorry.
All the Access Media is going to get it early.
Actually, I have to correct that. They actually said they are not sending out review copies to anyone.
I thought they might have.
Sorry.
That's nice.
They actually put out a statement on this because, again, big media was bitching about not getting review copies. And they're just like, hey, we think it's unfair if you get a copy before our fucking Kickstarters do.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. No
I like
fucking
that.
shit.
That's
Your
pretty
backers-
cool.
Your backers
I
that have
actually
been
like
waiting
that.
years for this shit. Fucking A right. They should get the game the same time as the media. Fuck off.
They should.
I didn't hear that story. I like that a lot.
They should 100%.
I really like that.
Because
It's
this
a
has
very
happened
good chance.
to me already. I've backed quite a few games over the last 10 years, and that has happened as well. So,
Yeah, it's one thing if it's a game. I can understand if it's a game that needs the media attention to give out the reviews. Like we're going to play a game royalty free for all. It's a game we've been talking about for a while. I played it at PAX East, made by one of my friends. It's only coming up to, I think, Steam at first, but they have a Kickstarter backer goals to get it to console next year, which is awesome. They really want to get it on Switch and Switch 2, and I think they can. But the interesting part about it is when you look at the totality, they need all the media attention they can get. So they would obviously send out demo codes. They would obviously send out review codes because they need that attention. Silk Song does not need reviews to sell games.
No.
So they're going to prioritize the people that made the game possible in the first place.
it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Period. Happy
Yeah.
to see that.
So that's why I just wanted to make that blanket statement, because not just because every game on Kickstarter, I can understand some still prioritizing media because they need it. They don't. They know they don't. That's why they announced the release date on their own damn YouTube channel. We don't need you anymore. You know?
I like that. I also think that's kind of why Nintendo's done what they're doing with the Nintendo Today app. I don't think they want to rely on big access media. And I also don't know if they trust their takes.
Yeah.
This might be why Silk Song just repeated the same demo from E3 2019, because they're like, hey, this is already out there, so fuck it.
Yeah, Rockstar does their own thing too.
By the way, I don't know what is going on with T right now. He now came over to my channel.
Goodness gracious.
He wants to let everyone know for $100 that we need a new Star Fox game.
Jeez.
That's
Bro.
awesome.
And
We're
look,
getting one, T.
we're going streaking. What is happening right now? What is going on?
That's
I don't even
epic.
know. People are just excited for PAX West. That's what's happening. That's what it's about.
Here's a couple more. So obviously Capcom, right? We're all excited. Gamebird, you love the Onimusha series.
Love it.
I enjoy it. I love Resident Evil very much.
Yes.
Been there since the beginning, you know. I remember renting the big box at Blockbuster. The big box, big tall PlayStation box. My cousin Jim and I playing it Halloween night after we went trick-or-treating on the big screen, the big box with the surround sound. I could still vividly remember walking down that hallway. The dogs coming through the window and just scaring the shit out of us. And I'll just never forget that moment. It's just like one of those gaming moments, right? That's like part of you now. And I'll always appreciate everything Resident Evil does. I love the horror genre. Love it. Like Silent Hill last year, Silent Hill 2 remake. God, that game is good. And I have Silent Hill F pre-ordered. So super excited to see that.
Sorry, correction. Silent Hilf.
Oh yeah, Hilf. Yeah.
Just wanna make sure we're
Right. Thank you.
What's going on at PAX West? Like, we could probably talk for hours about all the stuff we're going to play, but we have a bonus podcast we're planning as well, where we'll probably go over some of the stuff we've already touched on. One thing I want to make sure we bring up is that, well, we're going to be playing a lot of games because like that's the primary reason to go. Games and to hang out for the first time ever in podcast history. Also, dude, I'm excited for some of the accessory stuff going on.
Sure.
And what we're going to find out from the accessory makers. GameSir is there. What do they got? They're a controller company. They have some other accessories. Did they come through with something good? Something good coming up for Switch 2. You know, we have no third-party Joy-Cons yet.
True.
For Switch 2.
Yeah.
Are they making a set? I'd like to find out.
Well, I know since we've been on here, they dropped a few videos of the GameSir X5, and that's the big thing of like Switch 2. You can fit the Switch 2 in there. So I don't know if they're gonna have anything extra.
They'll have that there, and we'll get to go hands on with it. Because people don't talk enough about some of this stuff. The upcoming accessories that people are looking for, different things for their Switch 2. You know, and maybe you don't like those Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Okay. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah.
What
the hell?
T, wherever you work,
awesome.
Right.
What?
recommend me.
Hell,
Right.
dude?
Holler at your boy.
Gamebird,
Holler at your boy.
Gamebird, you're buying dinner.
Yeah.
Wow.
Goodness.
Holy hell! I've never experienced anything like this before on YouTube.
Gamebird.
Gee, what the
But William-
hell, dude?
Peak
Oh
cinema.
my
for
gosh!
YouTube.
Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say.
Just wait till he
Right?
clicks on an outro one day.
Yeah.
The bar, you put the bar so high with the
You
intro.
put the bar so hard.
I
Oh
feel
my gosh!
I feel like his background music is playing right now. He's just like, I got money to blow.
T, if you're gonna be anywhere near PAX this year, we'll get you a steak. How's that?
Something.
I got a magnet with your name on it.
You're right.
Yeah.
So we got some magnets.
Thank
to
you
get
so much, T. That's so thoughtful. I don't even know what to say. I never imagined I'd get something like that. So that is
Wow,
that
man.
is incredibly thoughtful.
Thank you
you
so
for
much
the
for
support.
supporting all of us on the show too. I do
you.
appreciate it when people do that. Because this show doesn't exist without all of us. This is how it goes. Yeah. So like the accessory maker stuff, I'm really excited to see what GameSir, what they're going to have there, or what they're going to be advertising. And there's other accessory makers there as well, headphones and all this stuff. So we're going to make our gambit. We're going to find out what's going on with some of this stuff. If any companies have anything that they're not bringing there, but they notice that we're Nintendo people, so they want to tell us, you know, hey, we're working on something special for Switch 2. You know, we'll let you guys know. And yeah, obviously, like, you know, I've you guys know I'm deep in the comments. I'm deep in the also Stash. Stash is very deep in the comments on his channel. But I'm deep in the comments on all the social medias. You know, I am the world's most hated Nintendo YouTuber, and that is A-OK in my book. Yeah, haters are doing something right. That's how it is.
That is how it
Gamer
is.
got a brand new hater this week.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Hating on something that had nothing to do with the video, even. That's when you know you really made it.
Yeah.
That said, you know, I get accused at times that everything I do is about money, right? Because it's my job. I'm a full-time YouTuber. I think of our whole crew, I'm the only one who technically does YouTube full-time, no other income. And what's interesting is this trip is costing me thousands.
Ooh.
And I literally may not have a video or live stream happen over the next 5 to 6 days, which is me giving up a bunch of revenue while also spending money while I'm there on top.
Right.
So I am giving up money to try to create better coverage for my fans. I don't like, I care about this shit. It's not just all about the money. It's about trying to create content that people want. I know I'm a news channel and I do the news and the rumors. That's not all I want to do. I've been waiting for something like an E3 style event. Finally, it's here to do this again. And who knows? There's a potential ESA coming back in April of next year doing something that might be exciting. We're gonna go and find out. Maybe it's not exciting, but we'll at least go once and see. So
yeah, well, at least go to Vegas and
I mean,
at least stop by the Pinball Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Not Vegas.
yeah. We'll have fun. We'll have fun. But we'll see on that one. Yeah, ESA is kind of like having this thing where it's already public, but no one's really talking about it. It's a conference in, I think, Las Vegas, where all the major companies, Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft are all participating. They're going to have obviously some panels and stuff you can go to, but potentially, it's a convention. So there could be some demos and some stuff going on. So we'll find out. We'll find out. And the ESA is putting it on. Maybe the ESA silently has rebooted E3 back to the OG when it was just media only, very small.
We're wondering because if you were going to reboot it, I think it's good to change cities.
Yeah.
I think Vegas is a good place to
Vegas
have
has
it.
a lot of venues as well. If they ever expands and they need bigger venues, they lots of options in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm excited, and obviously Vegas needs the business. But hey, if anyone needs to drop the prices, it's Vegas. They need to drop the prices on those drink menus.
Yeah.
Right.
So many people have been taking pictures, of menus lately and throwing it on Twitter in response to Vegas and how they're just losing money left and right. And everyone's like, well, you need to either lower the drink prices or give the power back to the mob and let them run it. They ran it a lot better. I'm like, yes and yes. I agree with both.
They did run it better.
They did. They did. Yeah, it's the place to be.
The Sin City for a reason, right?
Yeah.
I don't
casino.
want to get too morbid with what I'm about to say, but I live in California. I'm not too far. I used to be, when I was in LA, I was about 4 hours from Vegas. Now I think I'm like just under 3. I'm like 2 hours and 50 minutes from Vegas. And every time, it never fails. Every time I drive out there and you're going through kind of just like the open desert, I always wonder like how much buried is out there that just hasn't been found yet. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I can't help it. Just knowing that the mob
That's just the
ran
oil
Vegas for
Don't
so
worry
long.
about it. It's the oil of the future.
Right.
Millions of years from now, that's their
The
oil.
oil of the future. Yeah. I don't know. I always look at it, I'm like, there's got to be so many skeletons out there just waiting to rise.
There's a reason that Breaking Bad was cooking meth in the middle of the desert. No one knows what's going on over there. Nobody goes up. No one knows what the fuck's happening.
Hey, you know what? I got a few things on the list for PAX I haven't even talked to you guys about. I'm just gonna rapid them real quick, just so you can kind of get where I'm at. So obviously there's the 2K's booth. And on the website, it says there's other things from 2K there,
Mhm.
but it doesn't say what. So I'm curious if NBA will be there, given the fact that early access starts tomorrow, or actually in 24 minutes.
Unless you're on
and
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
Switch
go to
2 is on the
Switch.
5th.
Switch 2's
But
getting bombed.
So I wonder about that. Limited Run is there and Atari's there. I want to see if the He-Man game is there. I have a feeling it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
I love
He-Man.
beat 'em ups, and it's molded after Golden Axe. That's what Josh was saying, that the owner of Limited Run, that was the point. Another thing from Limited Run that I really wish I would have got, I'm not on the list, right? Like, I'm not in the know when it comes to that. But it's Doom on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Running on the Super FX3 chip that they created. That is extremely interesting to me as like a retro gamer, right? And I have it pre-ordered. I was actually one of the people who got one of the 666, which I don't like that number. However,
Neither do
Doom,
I.
Doom, the story of it, right? Obviously, like you're going into hell and you're killing the devil, which I can get behind.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't like that number. However, I did get one of them, and yeah, that was all they limited to, and the Rumble controller.
Sure.
For Super Nintendo. So I'm like, this is really interesting to me. So I would love to maybe be able to talk to someone there and be like, hey, can I like test this on my channel? I know a lot of people have got it to test. And to me, this is like extremely interesting. I rented Doom plenty of times on SNES back in the day. So that would be cool. But like we have the third parties too, like or not the third parties, but the accessory companies like Genki's there. I am 8-bit. I want to stop there. Obviously, Gamebird, I know
I
you
want to
do.
stop there really bad too.
Yep.
Yeah. Mave Chocolate. I want to stop there. I love chocolate. But hey, NIS America is going to be there. And I've been following EZX Proud Nordics.
Yeah.
Since the Switch 2 is announced, I knew it had that July 31st release date in Japan. And obviously there was some added content, but I thought to myself, it's probably not going to take too long to translate that added content, which is why it came out so much later in the US. And of course, it went up for pre-order like 2 days ago. So things are moving with that. Makes me think, I wonder if it would be there. I mean, you could literally play the Japanese version right now and Switch 2.
Yeah.
The full version. So it's like, if you want to demo something, have that there. And it doesn't say what games they're going to have. And Ease is going to run at 120 frames per second.
Yeah. Those games are a
Which is
lot of
cool.
fun too. I've only played 2 East games, East Origins, which is like your top-down dungeon crawler. Tons of fun. 2 characters to choose from. Such a fun game. And then East 8, which almost feels like, obviously it's an RPG, but it feels a little bit like a Zelda, but also like a Metroidvania, where there's like, areas you can't get to until you unlock a certain item that lets you, scale walls and stuff like that. So those are really fun games.
Did you guys ever watch any of the Mega 64 videos back in the day?
Oh yeah, 100%. I used to love those.
Yeah, they're there. They have a booth.
I'm
like, interesting.
Those are a couple guys I'd actually like to say hi to, because I do all the skit stuff, and I remember, I used to watch.
They're funny.
Their stuff all the time.
I did too. I thought it was great. The office of the Washington Secretary of State has a booth there, so I'm interested in stopping by there and seeing if they have any games to play. I don't know what they would have. Maybe some training modules or something.
Sure.
But
I mean,
I'm still interested in it.
I feel like we're going to have
American
a
history.
really great variety of stuff between the appointments that we already have. And like, I think all of our varied interests, like we have a lot of the same interests, but we all have a lot of like, different niche things that we love. So I don't know. I think
The mix event's going to be sick. So we're going to
Oh,
an
yeah.
event on
Mix is gonna
Friday
be
night.
awesome.
It's called the Mix, and we're getting in an hour early with our what media or creator passes, whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
You could
and so
really
yeah, they're gonna have like over 80 indie games there,
better for that one.
and some of the highlights: Toxic Crusaders, Bubsy 4D. Which look,
Yeah, Bubsy 4D. I
I-
want to play.
I know Bubsy gets like
A lot of hate.
it
Yeah.
gets, I think it gets a lot of hate too, though, from the younger kids today. Like they go
Sure.
back and play it, and they're like, "This game sucks." It's like, I mean, it doesn't. It was
It
fun
doesn't.
back in the day,
Yeah, it doesn't hold up to today's standards at
Yeah.
all. No.
and it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. That's how games were back in the day. You couldn't die,
Yeah.
100 times and keep playing.
Right.
You'd have to start from the beginning. That's how games
Yeah.
were. I
Yeah.
get it. You don't like it, but that's how it was. That's what we played and lived through. Blood Breaker, Labyrinth of the Witch. Looks like a very cool Metroidvania. There's a beat 'em up there that I've been following, and it's called Pizza Kid. You're a
Mhm.
pizza
Yeah.
delivery guy,
Yeah.
and like it's like Streets of Rage, but you're a pizza delivery guy, and like
Really?
it's a
So
beat 'em up.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
so
like,
90s
For a
too.
second, I
That,
was
like,
like,
we had to
totally.
go beat 'em up. Yeah.
No, we're going streets of rage. Got it.
yeah, I'm like this looks cool, man. And then Yuka Replay. So again, the event.
Where they supposedly fixed all the things people didn't like
Dude,
about it when it first came out.
I am
so.
so excited to
I
go
know they
hand
did.
because I have the original. I got it right when it launched on Switch way back. I mean, I was living in LA still at the time.
That was my first Kickstarter.
I've heard
game.
nothing but glowing praise that it feels like a different game. Because
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
things
it is.
that was a big gripe for me, I didn't end up finishing it. And guys, you know how much I love Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah.
So like
Mhm.
this was huge up there. The world felt so empty to me. And I've heard there's stuff to do around every corner now. Like
They
it's
have a
just
map
packed
now
with
too,
content.
like
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
everything you need to do, like modern games
Yeah.
have.
It feels like they
So I'm
finally
excited.
took it and made it what people wanted it to be originally. That's what I'm
Yeah.
excited about.
Well,
Yeah.
with Yuka, so Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time is when they're making the announcement
Yeah.
for the release date. And then we'll get to play it that night. But I'm sure you guys saw the pre-orders went up for it on like VGP, PMP, and Amazon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not Best Buy yet. That's where I'd prefer, because then I can go drive down there and get it, not wait for it to get delivered a couple. Because like I'm already behind the 8 ball, right? I'm already starting the race late against the big media websites. They get it early.
Right.
I get it launch day. If I want to go physical, I got to drive down to Best Buy, which is fine. So I'm waiting for their pre-order to go up. But $50, complete game on cartridge.
Yeah.
That's
It's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited. They're a good group over there. There's some former devs there. The team's made up of former devs from Rare, from like the good days of Rare.
Yeah. I think you have to emphasize that.
Yeah, there's some strong pedigree there. So I'm excited. And I remember earlier this year, beginning of the year, I did a video, my most anticipated games of 2025. I had like 60 games on there. It was a long video, but I had Yuka Replay on there. And like I cut the video up into shorts and posted like one short a day with each video. I got so many hate comments from people about Yuka Replay and how you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, bro, I kickstarted it. What are you talking about? I know exactly what I bought into. But all these people say, oh, this game's going to be total trash. And it was weird.
Trash. I would not call it trash. No,
it was weird.
It wasn't trash. No, it just
it just wasn't as good as we hoped it would be. But it was still they it's like they had the bones. They just weren't.
Yeah,
the meat wasn't all there yet.
Well, the people I ended up talking to that were saying these things, we ended up having a conversation, and nobody played it. They were just regurgitating headlines.
Shocking revelation.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why are you coming at me so hard? You haven't played the game, bro. This is insane. Like, I don't know.
Got it.
However, I can see that Yuka Replay is going to. I can. You guys can see it, right? This game's gonna do well. I can see it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I almost want to go back and be like, so what do you think now?
Trash.
Yeah.
Trash. They're selling it to you twice. Trash.
So there's a ton of games there to play though. There's things that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
And then I got the NBA Jam tourney on Monday.
yeah,
at
you're doing the
2:30.
tournament.
Right. I forgot you didn't-
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be there cheering you on.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm ready. I
Yeah,
got
we
the
have
jersey in
another
the bag.
trophy Monday. I wonder
right.
why. We got to cheer on Stash. That's
Right.
why.
I'm excited. I hope someone brings it. I really do. I really do. I genuinely do.
Actually be good. I don't want to just wipe the floor. I mean, I'll do it, but I'd like a challenge.
Yeah, I really want one. So it'll be interesting.
Stash, have you been practicing at all? You've got the cabinet, don't you, with Jam on it?
Yeah, I
You
have
know,
the arcade, but
did you warm up at all?
Tournament's probably not on the arcade though.
the tournament's on SNES.
Yeah.
And the last tournament I played in was on SNES. That was the one where I won by an average of, I think, 42 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Hot damn. This is gonna be awesome.
Jeez.
I
And
can't
the guy
wait.
I beat had
I'm
won
gonna-
2 years in a row and was like the reigning champ, and was supposed to annihilate everyone. I didn't even know this. I actually walked in. I didn't even know they were having a Jam tournament. I
That's wild.
told Michaela, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do this. I mean, anytime there's a Jam tournament, I got to play.
How much trash do you talk when you play?
0.
Oh man,
It's like-
I
it's
would.
like real
Wow, that makes it
basketball.
worse.
It's like
Yeah.
That's why they
basketball
call 'em-
in real life. I don't say anything.
Silent,
They call him
focus.
silent but deadly.
yeah, silent man is a deadly man.
So I sometime in the future, I want to see a 1v1 between you and Andres Restart on the actual basketball court, because you're both really good at basketball and shape and everything. Now he's obviously younger, so he's got the youth advantage. But he was talking on his podcast the other day when I brought it up that I really want to see you guys sometime in the future. We got to set it up. He's like, "Oh, dude, I love trash talking," and I'm like, "Yeah, Stash is gonna do the opposite.
Yeah,
You're gonna trash talk, and he's gonna let his game talk.
Yeah.
I've always
Stash,
Stash,
It's gonna be
you
great."
have
I
an
need
injury
you-
though, don't you, Stash?
what?
Don't you have a injury though from basketball or something like that? Do I remember correctly?
I have lots.
Yeah.
I have lots. I shredded my.
It's never just
Achilles.
one. It's
That's
never
what it
just-
was. The Achilles.
Achilles tendon, meniscus in both knees, fractured my ankle, my right ankle, and tore all my ligaments. Literally, they said all, and
Fun
then
stuff.
separated my AC joint 3 times. Your shoulder, but nothing's grounded me. And yeah, look, man, I've said this a million times. Michaela's seen it. Anyone who knows me, they know. Look, I'm 40 years old now, and when I go to the gym and play, they should be whooping my ass, and I've told them this. The younger kids, the guys that are,
In the prime.
in their prime, but you guys should be whooping my ass, and they don't. And I'm
Mhm.
disappointed. It is the same thing with Jam. Like,
That's
I'm
that's
dead
just one.
serious.
I don't have
That's
to
Stash's one comment before
Yeah.
he's silent the whole game.
Hornet.
Turns back. I'm disappointed, and
I'm
then
just
walks out the gym.
Well, it's always after we play. Like, I'm just disappointed. Like, I want to
Stash-
get my ass whooped.
Stas, I need you to, like, when you're older, like, do that like that real kind of like silent but like subtle, like nag or like get on people. Like you play NBA Jam and you're like, oh, don't think that's going. Oh, it went in. Oh,
Yeah.
Give me that ball. You don't need that.
Stash is gonna be like 60 one day. He's gonna hit the real life courts, and he's gonna go up against someone who just trash talks like shit. And he's like, "Yeah, you should just wreck me. You're 25. You've been your father twice. Okay, let's
Right.
And then you beat him, and all you do, you say nothing. The guy's like, "What the fuck?" And you're like, "This is just a disappointment." And you just walk off the court.
I didn't even lace my shoes today. I just wanted to let
Yeah,
you know that.
dude, I don't even fit in basketball shoes. I have no cartilage in my ankles anymore. It's bone on bone, and What is happening? And NBA Jam, dude, he's going to be 75 at a tournament kicking people's ass.
Hey, man, like I said, anytime there's a tournament, anytime I know about it, I play in it. And I mean, knock on wood, I've never lost. And it's never been even remotely close.
Yeah. So what he's saying is PAX West, bring the heat.
I hope somebody does.
Someone who's even remotely close to his level.
They're
Dude,
like,
if I lose, I will shake their hand. I'll offer to buy them a beer. Really, I will. That's how I am. But I always want some good competition.
boom shakalaka and stuff.
Right.
Like, boom,
He's
shakalaka.
humbly probably one of the best players in the world. That's just how it goes some days. It is what it is.
I wish
He
they
doesn't
had
lose.
esports for it. Like
Yeah.
I would sign up in a heartbeat for a team. Like I'd go try out.
You probably would make it too.
I feel like I would, but
that game is so fun. I know you trash me because I just haven't played it in so damn long. I fucking love it though. I love it.
It's the best.
I gotta after watching you play, I'm gonna be like, all right, next year.
You should.
I'm gonna train for the next year at this fucking game. I'm taking Stash out in that fucking tournament.
Should, man.
Okay. I think we can get to the super chat so we can get the heck out of here. I got some packing still to do. We got Jamie Camp said, hope you and your ladies have a blast at PAX West. I hope so too. I predict it'll be a major fun time.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Bare minimum, my children are there, so that already makes it a good trip. Love them. But I gotta get away from them sometimes. I work from home, so I literally don't get away from them. Matt became a member. Thank you so much, Matt. Go to 10, randomly dropping the fiver, no message.
Oh yeah.
Demonic Brawler coming in. Bring back NFL Blitz, NBA Jam, of course, and NHL hits. Exactly. We're talking about new games, by the way, guys, not the classics. Those are there. They can stay there. Some new ones. And I swear, if one more person brings up that new basketball game and tries to convince me it's like bringing back Jam.
No.
Yeah, NBA Bounce.
It's
No.
dude. It's
NBA Bounce
Game
the fuck
Mill.
out of my house.
It's Game Mill. Okay, this isn't Midway. It's not Acclaim porting it. This is Game Mill. It's a mill that shits out bad games. Like
we're
we
just
know what
happy to
Game
see
Mill
him.
is, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's familiar with their game, right?
Yeah.
Now look, maybe I just want to say this, okay? Because I don't like talk bad about developers like that. Maybe they don't have the funding. That's a big thing, right? There's other things that could be at play. However, they're to me, they're the modern day LJN.
Oh,
From
wow.
the NES era. They get the license, they push out a game, they make money from the license. But it doesn't mean it's a good game.
Yeah.
Okay. Pokemon Fan 34 says, do you think we'll see a new Animal Crossing? I'm assuming that's at the direct. I mean, possibly. I'm not going to rule it out. I think any of Nintendo's IPs are possible. Fire Emblem, anything really, because it's a new gen. So sure.
No, what I find funny is it's a new game, but it's Tom Nook's backstory. He's part of the mafia. He's a mafia boss, and you have to go work for him to
Finally.
You mean they finally just give him the title that we all know he's had this whole time?
Right.
Because he pretty much is that already. He just puts a smile on.
Yeah. You have to go work for his mob.
The Mono Brawler says, Thunderstash Gaming, do you think Twin Snakes will be included in the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 2 and at 60 FPS on Switch 2?
This is something I've thought about actually quite a bit. I guess you could say because I want to see it, right?
Oh yeah.
And you got a question, would it come to NSO or would it come to a collection? Silicon Knights is the one who developed the game.
Yeah.
Which, of course, Eternal Darkness. And, of course, Nintendo owns Eternal Darkness now, which that wasn't the case back then. They bought that. So it's like, who owns what? How would this work? We got GoldenEye on the NSO. We're able to make that happen. I I think it's just a matter of when it shows up,
Yeah.
like, and how. I think it's going to, and obviously I would prefer it. I think in the collection at 60 FPS, and I would like it to, populate my entire television. I don't want the bars on it. If I can get the whole big screen, that would be great.
I love Twin Snakes, and it's such a hated remake of the first game. Twin Snakes got a lot of shit. I know it went a little bit more anime with the cinematics and stuff like that, but I feel like it kind of lent itself to the campiness of some of Metal Gear Solid storytelling. Personally,
I think so. That was my thought back then as well.
Yeah,
it made sense to me.
All right. Tomato Brawler says, do y'all think the Resident Evil 4 remake gets a Switch 2 port?
Yes.
I think so. Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Nice, short and sweet there. Just yes. Just all of it, yes. All right. Let's see here. Next up, Wink to Man 07. Do you think we'll get Wii on NSO next year?
Well, like I said, November 2026 is the 20th year, 20-year anniversary of Wii. And man, that would be a good time to do it. If you're gonna do it, you want to make a deal out of it. It's a good time to do it.
Yeah. I think I speak for all of us when I say we would like to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It would be nice, but I don't
Love that
think
commercial.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's just way too many GameCube games still that they got to tap into before.
Yeah, well, no one asked you.
Yeah, I was about to be on the negative side too.
I'll take that.
Why do you think you get to talk? What show is this, anyways?
Because I would love for it to come out like to match up, like Thunderstash said, with 20 years. It's just the releases seem so sporadic with NSO. So it's like, what are we looking for as far as a schedule? GameCube is sitting at what, like 5 or 6 games, and it's like we're just gonna give us one.
And does that go into the expansion or the regular?
Yeah, we already know that's expansion.
Probably
There's no way they give you that. No way.
Yeah. Do you start off with Wii Bowling?
Start with Wii Sports. Start off with that resort.
It has to be like one of the first ones.
Yeah.
Demonic Brawler, 2026 is the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, 20th anniversary of Wii, 30th anniversary of PlayStation, and 30th anniversary of Resident Evil. It's going to be a good one. Yeah. Should be a good year next year. Yeah.
God, I feel old.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to see that as like 10-year anniversaries.
Right.
The Brawler then says, I think 3 All-Stars get the Switch 2 edition, including Galaxy 2, and will be official release, not timed exclusive, and a free upgrade for Switch 1 owners.
I think Galaxy 2 gets the Prime Remaster treatment.
Yeah, by itself.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be by itself.
Okay. Demonic Brawler then drops a 10 and says, I feel Nintendo's reasoning for not sending out dev kits. That story is to make sure third-party companies don't forget about Switch 1 yet, to keep Switch 2 from getting overwhelmed with niche titles.
I will say, well, the second part, I definitely agree with the overwhelming in niche titles, but I think they are very much back in there. It's fine. It's kind of like full circle. So back with the NES and them controlling a whole lot of who gets to put games on their systems and when. I feel like it's very indicative of that. But it's like, but we'll be nice though. We'll be nice. Listen, you can put all the games on here, but we'll just kind of decide who and when gets to be on here instead, you know?
Sure.
But I mean, it honestly, I think it, we've talked about this a bunch of times, but I just think it works better that way because my pockets are already empty and I'm not trying to go into debt, trying to get all the games that I want. And by the time I'm able to get those games, it's like years and years later. Like I would rather play those games now. So this just nice little stream of games that we're getting is so much better than a whole bunch of games and cannibalizing each other for some FaceTime.
Yeah.
Okay. Just these are a couple quick ones here. Mr. Black went to multiple of the channels here, dropping it was a click buy. Thanks for the support. MMXJK says hoping for a demo of Air Riders on Switch 2 to play. I kind of think they won't do it because like the thing that needs to be demoed the most is City Trial, and it's hard to demo that without it just being the game.
Right.
So very
what
hard.
What about a test play?
A temporary test play, sure, but then they're putting the demos out of these things that usually when the demos are here, they don't do test plays.
Yeah.
No. We'll see. I'm actually curious. So obviously, you know, Kirby's got more popular over the years, but like that Kirby Air Riders between Japan and the US has 6 million views on its direct.
Wow.
Which is insane. So like I'm actually starting to wonder, like, was this a smarter idea than we thought to line it up for Black Friday week? Because maybe they just had that belief in not just that Kirby's grown because of Forgotten Land, but also Sakurai has grown in popularity and a Sakurai made game. You know, much bigger deal now than back when he did the Kid Icarus stuff. So we'll see. T also went in. We were getting to the T marathon. He started off low, and I was like, "Oh, cool." He's just doing a little support tonight for Stash. And then he comes in with the 50, of course, and we already went over the hundreds and the 200s and all of that. Mr. Black says, "Ayo, been watching." I said, "Me likely." There we go. Steak 1024. Here's towards a drink for karaoke at PAX. Looking forward to vlogging coverage. My God, do I hope $5 even covers half of a beer. We're in Seattle. I'm suspecting $20 beers. We'll see. We'll see. I don't actually know what it's like to drink at the bars in Seattle. Based on my experience in Boston, look, I'm going to spend quite a bit of money that night because I want to have a good time. And unfortunately for me, I'm a tank. So sucks. But it'll be fun. It'll be worth it. It's only worth it, by the way, to spend that kind of money so I can get there because I'm with all my people. My people. I'm with my peeps.
Hey.
I don't get to be with my peeps. I was telling Yulia this earlier today that I kind of feel like Thunderstash and Gamebird are like the friends in high school I never had that would have completed my circle with Eric. And I always wonder what would have happened if we grew up in our 20s together. You know, like, I don't know. But for one night only, I'm going to try to find out.
Yeah. I'm down.
It's drinking time, boys.
Ladies there. I know mine likes to have a good time. We'll see what the other ones are like. I have no idea. But for one night only, I just have to find out because I didn't get this. It was just me by myself. I wonder why Silksong isn't advertised on the eShop. Does it need to be?
No,
not really.
Yeah, they don't have pre-orders up. That's why they just don't have pre-orders up.
The pre-order for 2K is not even up. And it's coming out
I was going to say the same thing.
It's so weird.
Doing weird
it is
things.
weird.
Launch day. That's when.
I know.
So stupid.
I just have to shout it out again because it is about the podcast. The $200 for the Peak Cinema intro.
That's wild, dude.
Right?
I can't even believe that. That is so wild.
MMXJK comes in as a safe trip. Y'all looking forward to Stash's videos from PAX. Not mine? Shit. I'm just Stash will probably be better. But mine will be all right. I promise. Mine will be all right.
I'm looking forward to all Prime's and Stash's videos, and I'm looking forward to making my one, maybe two videos. No, this time I'm gonna have a lot of content to make. It's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to the vlog he's supposedly putting together because there's gonna be things I forget about on the trip that'll just be in the vlog, and I'll be like, oh shit.
The cool thing about the vlog is I've never done anything like this before. I don't really do social media. Like I have an Instagram, but I don't post stories. I don't like do the hey guys, it's me, just hanging out on Saturday. So this is all new territory. Everything I do is like carefully thought out. So this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be kind of an experiment. And I think just based off of how much we're doing both inside PAX and outside of PAX, it's probably going to make for a fun video. And if I make it to where it's not too long and it's just kind of action packed with all the drunken shenanigans, it's going to be a good one. Especially if we get karaoke in there, man.
Yeah, karaoke bar potentially on Saturday night. And by the way, Epic Games is providing the 21 plus beverages at the Mix the night before, so it's like a pregame before the big game.
Yep.
I mean, I'm excited.
I am too. I appreciate that.
Like I know I got all the game stuff to do and it's gonna be fun, but like it's gonna be nice just because I don't get to ever like I have kids, I have a life. I didn't even get to go out for my birthday. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do anything. Nor did my fiance. Well, she couldn't either. She was on like this medicine that she couldn't drink at the time. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens. Wild time.
It'll be fun.
Just, I'm a little scared. No, I'm not scared of what's going to end up in the vlog. I'm like,
if someone
out of control, no, I won't be that out of control. I'll get the rest of the second.
No, I will get the best and worst moments. If there's a bar fight, that'll be in the vlog for 100%.
Yeah, dude, you know what? Especially we advertise me so fans can come. If a hater wants to come and get in my face, you're gonna see, like, if there's a bump and they hit the hernia, you're gonna see in the vlog Stash putting some dude through the fucking ground.
No,
for trying to hurt me.
I told you.
I don't know why. I literally visualize Stash in a bar fight. I don't know why. There has to be a pool table for this to play out, but I've literally visualized this as I'm thinking about the vlog for whatever reason of him grabbing the stick, snapping it on his knee, doing the pass to me and Nate. We both catch it, boom, boom, and then Stash breaking a bar stool on the guy's back. I don't know why. That's just what I visualize.
I don't know. I feel like Stash with his stash goes the old English boxer.
Right.
But he's so masterful at it. He never gets hit. It's just like a real quick
It's all slow motion for him. It's all slow motion.
I'll probably tell you guys some stories in person.
Yeah.
That I've never.
Honest part
I
is
can
hanging
never
out.
share online.
Yeah. That's what I'm.
You got to do the Swayze throat, the Patrick Swayze throat move.
Freaking,
you know what I'm talking about?
I told Nate that if anybody hit the hernia, it's going to be a freaking, like the movie Airplane, the line where the lady goes crazy and they're all just like, calm down.
Yeah, snap
out.
I love that movie.
Yeah, great.
You got that air traffic controller today was a bad day to quit drinking.
You guys think I'm crazy even mentioning it. It happened at PAX East. So, and I'm like, if it happens at PAX West, and it was just one person, but it's like I legitimately have a medical thing. Like you could put me in the hospital if you're fucking with me. So that's the thing. I got a crew this time. You fuck with me, dude. My fiance might put her heel through your forehead. She's very protective, especially now. She yells at me, dude. If I wear a backpack at the show, she's gonna yell at me. That's how protective she is of me not hurting myself. Don't even put on the fucking backpack. No, which I don't blame her. I'm getting close to surgery time. I don't blame her. We don't want to fuck this shit up. So
no.
Don't you love your women?
I mean, they should have your back like that. It's awesome. Yeah. I'm sure Michaela would have Stash's back, no problem. If Stash fucking got it clocked upside the head and lost his balance, Michaela fucking beyond that motherfucker. Beating it. That's what you do. It's your spouse. You protect each other.
I've told Michaela so many times because she hasn't seen. Thankfully, like that. This has never happened, but it's came close a couple of times with people when we've been out. Obviously, I don't go out very much, and the people were belligerent. But I'm like, you gotta remember, and I've coached her on this. I'm sure all of you guys have done the same with your ladies. Whatever you do, do not hold me back. Put me at a disadvantage. Whatever you do, I see it happen way too many times. Where the lady gets in the middle and grabs you, and now suddenly your arms are held back and they just start taking free shots on you. Like, you cannot do this. Okay?
I've taught Yulia, like, hey, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I'm going to deal with it. Don't worry about it. But I might pull you back if it's happening to you. Yes, I will protect you.
Oh yeah.
Like that's just what a guy does. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, even with the hernia. And for people that don't believe me, I'll just tell this one little quick story. The last time Yulia and I went out, a stranger at the bar grabbed her ass and walked away. And Yulia didn't think anything of it. She thought it was me because I do it all the time. Like that's my woman. Of course,
Right.
Yeah. So he went outside to the smoking area, and I went out and I said, "Hey, you need to go in there and apologize. That's my woman." Well, she liked it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just say this one time. You're lucky it's me out here, and she didn't know that you did it because she would have put her heel through your head. I'm trying to be respectful and just asking you to go apologize because you violated my woman, and she doesn't even realize it, but I saw it. So please. And next thing you know, he wound up. He's like twice my size to take a swing at me, but he's fucking drunk. And so he's no coordination. So he literally comes to take a swing. I step to the side. I catch his arm. I put my foot down, fucking push him, knock him to the ground, sit on him because you know what? Hey, I'm fat. He ain't getting up if I sit on him unless that motherfucker is, you know, if he I don't want to give my weight away, but I'm just saying he ain't getting up. So I sat on him, and then I used my elbow to push his neck into the ground, and I said, "Are we done now? Are we done? Don't even bother going in to apologize now." And then I walked away. And so I was like, look, just because I have the hernia, don't mean I can't kick some ass. It's just, I don't want to.
Right.
You know, it's like, all I asked you to do is be respectful and apologize. So like, yeah, you know, it's one of those things. I don't get in bar fights. I don't like bar fights. I know people are belligerent and drunk, but if you do something to my woman, that's kind of like what you're supposed to do as a man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hide that one. Michael Lorenz said, so I didn't actually read that one off. Let me catch you here. Hope you guys have fun at PAX West. Hope you all create unforgettable memories on the strip. Unlike Prime's memory of the ending of Ocarina of Time, you bastard. That being said, I think the memories will be unforgettable.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I am like Sash was talking about. I'm looking forward to like just hanging out and the stories that we can tell each other that we'd never do on camera or something. Like I don't mind that little story I told. That's nothing. But there's other stories that I definitely would never want out there in a public way. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's just basically just friends hanging out, shooting the shit, and hearing about each other's life experiences. And by the way, we've had some of these stories come up every once in a while in the post show. So you know, there are things at times. Let's see here. Vanny says, this is probably the last live stream of the month for me. Don't forget to announce the top primary. He's just tooting his own horn. He's the #1 super chatter on my channel for the month of August. Congratulations, Venny. Thank you so much. I do appreciate the support. But also, see, what if we have that bonus podcast and someone walks in and drops a couple 500s? You're awful presumptuous over that. I'm just kidding. Nah, he's the top primer. Thank you so much. I can't believe you super chatted to toot your own horn. The kind of guy he is. Warren Bowman's DC channel. If every negative hater comment lost them $1, I wonder if they would still continue to do it. No need to keep losing money. Sure. And friend of the channel and the podcast, Attack the Backlog, coming in.
Oh yeah.
Getting ready for work, but just to say, have an awesome time at PAX, guys.
Nice.
We will.
Thanks, man.
Oh yeah.
And then Hugh Jingle, I love his name. Fun story on this on a stream. I thought that it's supposed to be huge antlers, is what it's supposed to be. But I was reading it like huge junk, like huge ball sack. And I said that on the stream, and he's like, I like that better.
That's how I've always read it.
Yeah, I know, but it's not.
I didn't know it was that.
Yeah. It's like one of those things that, okay, this is inappropriate, but it's funny, and I'm never going to recognize it. Then on one live stream, I'm like, nah, I got to say it out loud because I have to know. That's not what he meant. Anyways, first you shenan, and then you shenanigan. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. That's going to do it for our show tonight. Let's go around the room. Let people know who we are, what we have going on our respective channels and or whatever the fuck we do with our lives.
Yeah. you can find me here and the Clips channel and then PAX West.
And a future crazy vlog on Gamers channel.
Yeah, right.
Watch Eric be the
Hell
crazy.
yeah.
He'll
Right.
be
I know, dude.
sober as shit, but he gets overtired and dude, next thing you know, there's like a joke that should not ever be said publicly. And he says it. You're gonna find out some things from Eric that are hilarious. And he'll never say it. You have said it in public. I just don't know if you knew people were listening.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Especially back in the college days.
I mean, yeah.
Sandstorm.
Yeah, Sandstorm McDowell. You can find me at the Sandstorm Show Rebirth channel. We have a live podcast every Saturday. I almost forgot the time. Every Saturday at 7:00. Every Saturday at 7:00. And then the Winging It podcast on Sundays at 7:00, as well as the Jill podcast on Monday at 7:00. You can also find Jack this way. Jack, which I mean, obviously he's going to tell you the same on the Winging It podcast and the Sandstorm Show as well. So and also Twitter, because I forgot we have those things. So
Right.
at Sandstorm McD, you can find me on Twitter as well. And
Love the McD. Yes.
yeah, MC. That's the back. I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
You should not.
I'll say it behind.
You
I'll
shouldn't.
say it behind doors. But yeah, yeah, we cause controversy on Twitter. That's how we do.
There we go. Action Jack.
Like Sandstorm said, you can find me on the Sandstorm Rebirth as well as the Winging It Podcast channel. Saturday for the Sandstorm channel at 7 p.m. Winging It Podcast at 7 p.m. on Sundays. And then also, if you are into hip hop music as well as gaming music content, you can find the YouTube page for Master Sword Music, where I'm a part of a group of 5 or 6 individuals that also make content as well. And if you are on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, my handle is under my name, Action _Jack 8. Appreciate you guys for having me on once again. And I had fun tonight.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. All right, Gamebird.
You guys know where to find me here on YouTube at Gamebird Classic. I just dropped a video the other day about Nintendo's 2-pillar strategy, something we've seen Nintendo doing with Mario and Zelda for years now, but it's also started to bleed into other series. And this is an interesting strategy that I think could bleed into their, more dormant series or lesser selling IP to keep them relevant with a consistent flow of games. So check that one out. I'll have the PAX vlog as well as tons of impressions. I'll be sure to be covering games that we got to play. Pokemon, Kirby, of course, will be on the channel, as well as some of the cool third-party and indie stuff that we check out at PAX as well.
All right. Stash Man.
Yeah, you guys know where to find me, Thunderstash Gaming. And let's see, Suikoden HD reviewed Suikoden 1. If you are a fan of RPGs, JRPGs, definitely need to check this out. This was one of the highest rated, highest reviewed RPGs of the 90s and of the PlayStation 1 generation. And, if you know RPGs, you know that PS1 was home to, of course, some of the best RPGs of all time. Obviously, Super Nintendo was as well. But yeah, there was a lot of competition back then on PS1. It's right up there at the top. And now it's available as a HD remaster. So check that out. And I'm working on getting my Shantae Advanced review out. I have my editing software out. I'm doing it. I'm finishing it as soon as we're done. I've been going at it all day. And I'm going to bed. That's what I'm doing. Because I got to be up early.
Yep.
I didn't want to think about it. 6 hours. 6.5 maybe. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm Nintendo Prime. If you don't know who the fuck I am, that's all right. You're not meant to be here. It is what it is. Go follow our audio version of the podcast everywhere audio versions are heard. Yes, I will have this audio version up before I get the hell out of here. I don't have to be up quite as early as Stash. I don't have to leave here till about 10 a.m. So I give time in the morning. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all the content we're making at PAX. It's gonna feel a little weird. I've been making daily content for nearly 3 years, and now it's like I'm not really making, like, I'm making content, but I'm not making content. Does that make sense? Like, I'm recording stuff to make future content, but it has nothing, literally nothing to do with anything. Like, no news videos or anything planning to come out, unless for some reason something crazy happens. I don't know. So sometimes it's like things just happen, but otherwise it's gonna be weird. It's gonna feel like my channel is dead, and I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of comments. Where the fuck is Prime? What's going on with Prime? Where is he? Yeah. Finally, the Grim Reaper caught up. It is what it is. Nah, I'm looking forward to PAX. We're going to see a lot of fans. There's already fans reaching out that want to meet up with us there on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's all cool. Looking forward to meeting a bunch of fans. Looking forward to, that's like one thing we didn't really talk about is for PAX is we're going to probably run into a bunch of fans. I don't know how much a bunch is. Maybe it's like 3, maybe it's like 50. I have no idea. But it's always fun to run into fans and give you guys kind of a little experience that you don't get because I'm in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Wisconsin. Nobody comes to see me. It's just the way it is. No one wants, yeah, just Eric. Eric's the one that gets all the people coming to him. Me, it skipped right over.
No, I meant I come to see you.
Oh, whoa. Wait a second. Pause.
Super pause. Thank you. Thank you. At least one for the channel.
All right, guys. Pokemon fan want to know when the bonus podcast is. The real answer is we don't fucking know. we
got to get a lay of the land when we're there.
Yeah,
figure out internet.
It has to happen before the end of Sunday, of course, because Birdman heads out on Monday, and since he's missing next week, we really want to make sure he's on that in-person one. So that's the only thing I can tell you. It's not going to be Monday. It's going to be Friday or Saturday or Sunday. I don't know when. We'll figure it out. All right, guys. Peace out, everyone.
Later.
Good night.
Peace.